So hi everyone. Just a minute. Let me see.
Hello, good evening, everyone. Welcome, Edith. Welcome, Oladele. Welcome to the class. Let's give Princess a minute. Should be back with us shortly. Yeah, happy new month to you too, Oladele. Thank you. Hi, Zion. Welcome to the class. Good evening. Hey, Usman. Welcome, Hawa. Good evening. Welcome to the class. Let's give Princess some few minutes and she'll be with us shortly. Then we'll kick off.
All right. So good afternoon, everyone. It's nice to have you here. So without further ado, we'll be getting started today. We detect meets crypto session, and it's going to be a very powerful and insightful session. So we have here Mr. Isaac Wilson, and he is, of course, a crypto guru and professional. He is the CMO of Candleweb.ai, that's a crypto company, and he has a whole lot in store for us today. So I'll urge you to pay attention and take notes of your questions during the session. He would address them at the end of the session. So, Mr. Isaac, the floor is yours.
All right. Thank you very much, Princess. Thanks for the introduction. And good evening once again to everybody. I say your greetings. Thanks so much. And it's an honor being here with each and every one of you. Am I audible? Am I very audible? Can you hear me clearly?
Yes, from my end, I can hear you loud and clear.
All right, that's great. That's great. Thanks for the introduction, Princess. So, like Princess said, I'm Isaac Wilson, also known as Uncle Wills. It's my fun name, my nickname, and I've had quite some experience in the blockchain space. It's been about 5 years now, and to be honest, before I start the class, I just want to let you know that the blockchain space is quite interesting and there's a lot of opportunities, a whole lot of opportunities for you to earn from the blockchain space. And it's going to just require you to be creative, be hardworking, and be committed to learning. That's what it takes. That's what it takes. Commitment to learning. You have to be someone who enjoys learning. You have to enjoy the process. It's going to be a continuous process of growth. You don't take one class and stop, or you don't attend one lecture and stop there. You make sure it's something you continue learning and evolving. If not, you'd remain stagnant. And with the way life moves, with stagnation, when you're stagnant for long, you begin to pull backwards without even knowing. So that's my quick introduction, though. So today I'll be talking to you about Web3 and how you can earn and thrive within the Web3 space. And I believe this is a beginner class, if I'm right. Princess, I believe most of them are beginners, right?
Yes, it's
Okay.
beginner.
Okay. All right, then. Thank you. So I'll be simplifying everything and I won't go into much jargon. So before I start the class, who here has heard about Bitcoin? If you've heard about Bitcoin, just drop a message or a reaction in the chat so I can see you. If you've heard about Bitcoin or if you've heard about blockchain, just drop a quick reaction and we'll kick off full time. Okay, so nobody has heard about Bitcoin so far. All right, no problem. Oh, okay, somebody is there, Zion. Excellent. I see Hanan, Oladele. Oh, nice, 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 nice. That's like 30% of the class already. So excellent. We're in good hands already. Everybody have heard about it with that. Okay, that's great. So for today's class, this is what we'll be going through, right? I'll start by giving you the foundation and start with the fundamentals of what Bitcoin and cryptocurrency is. Then from there, we'll talk about Web3 and what Web3 is and what differentiates it from Web2 and Web1. For there to be a Web3, there's a Web2, there's a Web1, and I believe in future we'll be looking at a Web4 and even Web5, but let's leave that for further cases. So after we're done with that, I would mention and share some ways which you can earn in the Web3 and blockchain space generally. And after I've shared those ways, then I would now go into talking about the skills which you can monetize, maybe your current skills you can earn or gain in the process, and then monetize it, and how you can monetize them, and also how you can use them to get jobs and earn in the space generally. Then finally, I would also share some resources with you. I would be asking the lecturer how, or our host rather, Princess, how I can share the resources with you, and I'll get them across to you. So these resources would help you earn further, and it would help you learn further, improve your skills, and go further. So let's get started. So I'll be starting with the very, very, very basics. What is blockchain? What is cryptocurrency? So we'll be starting with that, and we'll now be talking about just a little brief origin of Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, and the rest of that. So basically, right, a blockchain is simply an open ledger which records transactions. I would simplify this, forget about the big grammar. So imagine something like a Google Sheets. If you've used Google Sheets before, it's like a Google Sheets where you can't actually change what is written. Once you write something there, everybody sees what is going on. For instance, all of us in this class are working on a sheet, and let's say Marvelous writes something on the Google Sheet. Maybe she inputs something like Ethereum. She writes Ethereum on the Google Sheet. Everybody online at that time working on that sheet can see that Marvelous typed something or wrote Ethereum there. You can see it. Everybody is recording that in real time, but you are unable to change it. Once something is written on the blockchain, it cannot be changed, it cannot be modified, hence making it secure, making it very transparent, and it's open. So that is simply the way the blockchain technology works. It's an open ledger which records transactions, and whatever is done on the blockchain is open to everybody within that network. Everyone on that network can see it, but it cannot be changed, it cannot be tampered with. This is quite different from most of the technologies we have in place. And there's a good example I like to give. For instance, the banks. The banks use a ledger. Let's take, for instance, you make a transaction with OPay. I like using OPay a lot. So you make a transaction with OPay and you send some money to your friend. Let's take, for instance, Edit. I make a transaction on OPay and I send 100,000 naira to Edit's account. That transaction is recorded at the back end. They have the transaction there, and only them have access to the full records. They can see it. They can make modifications from the bank or wherever it is, and you won't be able to know what changes have been done. But with a blockchain, everybody at every time can see every single transaction. Every transaction is open. So that's simply how a blockchain works. So cryptocurrency next. Cryptocurrency is basically just digital money. It's money that's online, but it's powered by the blockchain. We know a handful of digital money which have been in existence, things like your recharge card. Your recharge card is digital money. We have things like your prepaid meter. It's digital money. It's money in the soft form. That's actually money which is converted to soft form. You have things like your DSTV recharge card or GoTV or however you recharge it. That's money in digital form. Even your money in your banking app, which you can transfer from person to person using a bank app, is digital money. The major difference between cryptocurrencies and other digital money forms that exist is the fact that cryptocurrencies are built on blockchains, and it being on blockchains means it's very secure, it's tamper proof, and it's not that easily prone to hacks. When I started learning about cryptos and blockchain, I used to say actually that blockchains can't be hacked. But I think of recent, with advancements in technology and hackers being hackers, they're always going to find ways to try to go around things. Um, we've had cases where there's been hacks in the blockchain, but I guarantee you it's way more secure than our traditional banking system. So simply your cryptocurrencies is digital money that's built on the blockchain. So I'm going to go to the origin of cryptocurrencies and blockchain and where it started from. So it all started from a person or an identity or whatever. Nobody knows who the person is, but there's just a name behind it. And the name is called Satoshi Nakamoto. Have anyone heard of Satoshi before? Well, Satoshi is rumored to be the founder of the first ever cryptocurrency and blockchain, which is Bitcoin. So Satoshi Nakamoto, and it started in 2010, where he mined the first original Bitcoin block. All right, excellent. I can see some people have heard of Satoshi. Yeah, he's a very popular name, and currently he's like the 13th richest person in the world, where he's currently holding about over $100 billion in Bitcoin. That's his current net worth in Bitcoin. So after Satoshi created Bitcoin, a couple of years later, he went ghost, totally missing, MIA. Nobody have heard from Satoshi. Nobody knows who he is. Nobody knows if Satoshi is a single person or if it's a group of persons. Some people have said he's an individual. Some say it's a government agency or whatever, but that's the origin of cryptocurrency. So you can see even the origin itself is quite mysterious. And I believe that's one of the core reasons why blockchains and cryptocurrency at itself actually succeeded, because the person or the entity behind it walked away from the technology. He was so selfless, having over $100 billion worth of Bitcoin, and he has never touched even a single penny from it. So that's the origin of Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies. I wouldn't be going in depth into this because the focus of this course is more towards another direction. But if you want to learn more about blockchain, you want to learn more about Satoshi, you want to learn more about cryptocurrencies, then there'll be resources I'll be sharing that would be helping you learn more. And I'll be hoping to add more value and put you through. So Next, I'll be talking simply, I'll just be defining what Web3 is. And in order for us to fully understand what Web3 is, we have to start by understanding what Web1 and Web2 are, and then what the technology means and how it impacts us. Someone said Satoshi is not from here. No, she's not from here. He's not from here. I don't think Satoshi is Nigerian, even though there's still the possibility, but I think there's a very slim chance. Because having over $100 billion sitting for years and not touching it is quite something. It's a very selfless act. So let's start with Web1, Web2, and Web3. So I'll be starting with Web1. What is Web1? So I want you to look at it like this, right? Web1 is simply the first version of the internet that came into play. It's a version of the internet which you couldn't really interact with the way you interact with your internet today. So it was more like the read only version. Let's look at it like this: a newspaper. You have a newspaper, you can only read the newspaper. You can't really do much on it. You can only consume and look at the information, but there's no like direct information, or there's no direct interaction between you and the content there. You can't really write or edit or modify or comment or really change anything. It's just static. So that's what Web1 was like. And it was like the first version of the internet. And I was really young when the internet came out though, but I've seen some very simple illustration of Web1 websites. And there was one Web1 website when the internet came out newly. I think it was called, is it $1 million website or something like that, where someone had the initiative when internet came out newly. He said he wanted making $1 million from the internet. And what he simply did was he created a web page, that's a single web page on the internet, and then he contacted 1 million people, companies, and businesses to upload their logos on that website for $1 each. So that's what a Web1 platform looked like, and that was an early initiative someone took. So on that website, all you had was just images of people's logos and their businesses. That's all that is there. You can't change anything. You can't make modifications. You can't write anything. You can't edit anything. Very static page with information. Also look at it like Wikipedia also. But Wikipedia allows you to even make modifications these days. But look at it like a wiki page. You visit it or you search for something, you go there. It's just information there. You read it, you move on. That's it, you're done. So that's a very simple explanation of what Web1 is and what it looks like. So let's go to Web2. Technology advances, we keep moving further. So for Web2 key features was that it was interactive, it was platform owned, and it came into play around the 2000s. Okay, so we have examples of Web2 platforms, basically things like your social media platforms, things like Facebook. We're currently on YouTube is a Web2 platforms, is a Web2 platform rather. So the key feature of Web2 platform is that it's mostly owned by an individual or corporate entities. There are people who own it, there are people who collect data on it, there are people who actually have the resources you are using there, and they have full control of it. So what happens on the Web2 platforms is more like you renting a space in a giant building. And within that space, you have some access. You can do some things within that space. Maybe you can move in, move out, make some designs, make some modifications. But at the end of the day, there is an owner to that entire land or to that entire building that can decide to kick you out at any time. He's like your landlord. If you go on Twitter now and you decide to maybe spread misinformation, or you decide to say something that doesn't even please Elon Musk, or something against maybe some people or whatever, that is against the rules or the community guidelines, they can kick you off Twitter. They can delete your account instantly, and there's nothing you can do about it. So that's what Web2 is like. They also collect your information, they collect your data, and they use this data for so many purposes. There's for some platforms they sell your data, they can sell your information, which is very valuable, or they can use the information to train their platforms. Things like for TikTok, you have things like the video algorithms that learn from the videos you watch or how you interact with the platform, what you like, or also interactive or shopping platforms, things like AliExpress or Jumia, where you search for something and then you keep seeing that thing showing up. In fact, you don't even have to search for it. These days, you just have to talk near your phone. You just have to say something near your phone. Keep your phone here and say, okay, I want to buy, or maybe I want to buy a new laptop next week. And the next thing you see, you pick up your phone and you open Facebook and you're seeing adverts for laptop, or you go on TikTok and others showing his laptops. In fact, the funniest scenario I had with this was when I and my friend discussed, he mentioned he had backache at that time. He had back pain, and he told me. So I was like, "Sorry, bro," and I was trying to recommend something he could do. And the next thing that happened was we were still together. I opened my phone, opened Facebook, and I saw an advert for medicine for back pain, which have basically never happened. So that's what happens with your data in the Web2 space. And the reason why I'm explaining it for you this in depth is so you'd understand the impact and the importance of your data and how Web3 changes everything. So let's proceed to Web3 where we currently are. So for the Web3 space, you own your information, you own your data. In fact, it's like you own everything within the Web3 space. It's more interactive and it's built on a concept called decentralization. Okay, Decentralization, decentralization. That's the core concept Web3 is built on. And decentralization is also key for blockchains and cryptocurrencies. So what really is decentralization? I'll be explaining it in simple terms what decentralization means, and I'll try to give very practical examples for you. Okay, so for decentralization, it's more like having a system or a body that is not controlled or regulated by any central entity, body, or government. That is what decentralization means. So, a very practical example I would give on decentralization is our banking system. So, okay, sorry, I saw I have a question. All right, I'll take questions after the class. I don't know, I have not really used YouTube Live before, so I don't know if there's a way you could submit the question and I attend to them after the class so I don't get distracted. I just saw the question pop up and my attention shifted. So, key
So you can
example,
ask
I
your
said,
question. Sorry, a minute. You can ask your question on the WhatsApp group, so that at the end of it,
okay,
we can get maybe a screenshot from there. But if you ask it here, it might distract him. So you can keep your question, drop your questions in the WhatsApp group, and then we'll come to the question and answer session. Right. Sorry for the
okay,
interruption. You can continue, Mr. Isaac.
okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. So yeah, I said I was going to use the banking system to explain what decentralization means, and I would make it as practical as possible. So let's look at our banking system. It's basically almost the same in every country. But let's use Nigeria for instance. We have something called the Central Bank of Nigeria. Why is it called central? Central is the keyword there. We have 100 other banks, or we have hundreds of other banks, but that one is called central. It's the central bank of Nigeria because it controls, regulates, and basically dictates the rules of operations for every other retail and smaller banks under it. It tells them what to do, it gives them regulations, it gives them guidelines, and if any bank breaks those rules or is found wanting, they can even get their banks, what do they call it? What's the term? They could get their bank, is it scraped off, or like they could get shut down? Yeah, thanks, that's the word. So they could get their bank shut down for not following those rules. They take orders. The monetary policy and everything comes from central bank. It governs them, it tells them what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what to tax users, what to charge users, basically they make all the rules. Everything, the governance comes from them. So that's what a centralized system looks like. But for a decentralized system, now I'm talking of decentralized, Decentralized, decentralized system. For a decentralized system, there's no central body controlling or dictating the rules in a decentralized system. Okay, there's no central system that is telling you, okay, do this, do that, or watching over everything you do. It's different for a decentralized system. Every single part of that system has the power of its own. So that's what decentralization looks like. And decentralization is what powers Web3. Okay, so there's no single landlord, no single entity. The platforms are there, the technology is open, you can interact with it. Nobody is really collecting your data, nobody is collecting your information to sell it. So that's what Web3 looks like, and that's what makes it revolutionary. Okay, so for decentralization, it really changed the way we interact with the internet. It really changed the way people even interact with businesses, and it gives power back to the people. You own your own information, you own your data, you own everything. So that's what Web3 looks like. So currently there are a handful of Web3 platforms which are already in existence. And to interact with Web3 platforms, you have to go through something called decentralized application browsers. So I wouldn't get too technical on that, but there are special browsers or dApps that allows you to interact directly with them. So you build your platforms on decentralized browsers. You build your platforms rather on the blockchain, your smart contracts or whatever it is you're building, it's there on the blockchain. Then you need decentralized browsers to access them. And examples of these decentralized browsers are things like MetaMask browser, which you can use to access on platforms like that. We have things like Trust Wallet, we have things like Mises browser. All these specialized Web3 browsers give you access to decentralized applications, and they allow you interact with them. So I'll be stopping here so we don't go much in depth on this. We'll touch that in case there's any other session or any other thing, then we can talk more on it, or I'll share resources I have available with me. So why Web3? Okay, so the key thing, I think I've mentioned this before, but the key thing is financial inclusion, empowerment, creator empowerment. You own full control of your data, your assets, community governance. There's something called community governance where everybody makes the rules, and we see that in things like DAOs, DAOs, and DAOs simply means decentralized autonomous organizations. So these are organizations where everybody makes the rules. Okay, unlike our centralized systems where someone can dictate all the rules, dictate how you engage or behave, or they make all the rules for an organization. For instance, let's say I own a company, and my company, I'm the CEO. As the CEO, I have higher rights to make some rules and make some changes or modifications, or the board members can make rules that affect every single person that works in that company. But for DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, everybody votes and makes the rules together. So that's another key characteristics of a DAO and a decentralized system. So all right, I hope everybody's following me and still catching up with everything I'm saying. So I'll be moving to the next aspect of my class. And now we'll be talking about the general ways to earn in the crypto and the blockchain space. I believe so far you've understood what a blockchain is. You've understood or you've gotten basic understanding of what a cryptocurrency is. Okay, nice. I can see yes, sir. That's excellent. You've understood the concept of centralization and decentralization, and you've understood the key differences between Web 1, Web 2, and Web 3. Yeah, excellent. Excellent. Good. I can see your replies. It's good to see that everyone is following up. So now we'll be talking about the general ways to earn in the crypto and the blockchain space. So there are a handful of ways, like there are many ways to earn in the blockchain and the crypto space. You can earn through your creativity, you can earn through existing systems. I'll just be sharing some of the mapped out ways already. And after I've shared this, I would now be talking about Web3 jobs. And I believe that's like the core thing most of us are here for. So general ways to earn in the blockchain space and in the Web3 space. Um, So these are some ways. Firstly, we have things like mining. I'll be explaining the concepts very simply and briefly so you'd know them. Even though the theme of this class is how you can get jobs in the Web3 space, these are also other ways you can earn and you can make money from the crypto space, okay? So the first is mining. There's a concept called mining. And the simplest way I would explain this is something called Pi. I believe it's something that went viral some years back, and many people heard of it. PI. Who have heard of Pi cryptocurrency that many people are mining with their phone? Have anyone heard of it? Just react or say something in the comments so I would know your understanding, or I can change my explanation. So, who have heard of Pi cryptocurrency? Okay, there's no reply yet. So I'll just go ahead and explain what it is. Okay, yeah, there's somebody there, Zion. Zion, I've heard of Pi. I can see Tolu Lokpe. I can see Rosemary. I can see Ojo, Oladeje. Okay, yeah, many people have heard of Pi. Excellent. So Pi is a very critical example of what cryptocurrency mining is. Okay, there are two key types of cryptocurrency mining, and I'll talk about them. Okay, Pi is one type, and there's another type. But first, what is mining? Mining is simply using your computer processing power or resources in order to create new cryptocurrencies or bring new cryptocurrencies into existence. That is what mining simply is. Okay, so there are two key types of mining. There's the hardware mining, which basically the first one which existed as Bitcoin. And for the hardware mining, you need specialized heavy equipment to be able to mine these cryptocurrencies. You need equipment like something called GPUs, that are heavy machines that actually processes transactions. What happens at the back end of mining? You just need to have the machines and maybe do some key things and set them up and they run. But what happens at the back end is it's more like a mathematical process happening at the end. Some calculations would be given or it would be put out there, then the machines solve them. Okay, your GPUs or your mining machines out there solve those calculations, and the first one to get the answer right, the first machine to process it and get the answer right, gets a reward. So that reward comes in form of that cryptocurrency you are mining. Either it's Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana or Cardano. There are thousands of existing cryptocurrencies out there. So many of them work with hardware mining, or they worked rather, because the world is improving and there's been a lot of initiatives to move from hardware mining to something called cloud mining. I wouldn't get in depth on that. There are different types of, in fact, let's not even touch that one before we start talking on proof of work or proof of stake. That's going to get quite advanced. So that's what hardware mining looks like. It's more like you having your physical mine. If you've seen things like maybe Dangote refinery, you see them with the heavy equipment machineries that dig in the ground and getting stones and rocks and then converting them to cement. That's what mining looks like. Hardware mining, you need specialized resources. For cloud mining, all you need is something like your digital devices, your phone, your laptop, that are good enough to go for cloud mining. And for phone, a critical example was Pi, where all you needed to do was install the application from your Play Store or your App Store. And after installing the application, you just needed to tap a button once in 24 hours. It varies based on platforms. It varies based on the specific platform you're using. So, but that's an example of what cloud mining looks like. That one is quite easy. It simplified the problem of hardware mining where you needed to get machineries in order to do that. So mining is one way you make money from the crypto space. Cloud mining, hardware mining, whichever one you're interested in, you can go look them up. There are many opportunities within that right now. The shortcomings of hardware mining is you need a lot of power, electricity, and the machines you use to mine are quite expensive. They are very, very, very expensive. Depending on how much you want to get, and the competition is also heavy because you'll be competing with people who basically have way more resources than you, and they already have mining farms and rigs. So you can look at mining though, and you can look at cloud mining. There are a lot of opportunities and platforms that are currently offering you the opportunity to earn from that. So another key way you can earn from cryptocurrency, which is one of the most popular, is trading. So many people have heard of trading. Many people, when they hear of crypto for the first time, in fact, the first thing they know of is trading. And why that's the case is because crypto traders are like some of the noisiest and the loudest people within the crypto space. I hope there's no trader here, though, so pardon me. But yeah, that's what trading is like. Especially for the new traders, you make profits. You see them shouting all over social media, posting their profits, or the crypto market goes down or there's a price fluctuation and you see them posting on their statuses, complaining or whatever. What's crypto trading? I like giving practical examples you'd understand. I like giving examples. I can see someone laughing. You know, a trader, I believe. So an example that will help you understand trading better is something like, let's look at something like stockfish or palm oil. Let's say someone trades palm oil. What simply the person does is he looks for where he can palm oil at a cheaper price. Let's say he has connects to some people who produces the palm oil, maybe in Kogi State, that are infamous for producing a lot of palm oil around there. So maybe you have a supplier at Kogi State, you buy that palm oil at a cheaper price, then you bring it to Abuja. When you bring it to Abuja, the price increases, you sell it at a higher price, maybe at 10, 20, 30% profit. Okay, when you sell it, you make profit from the margin. You bought at a cheaper price, you sold at a higher price. So there's a price difference there. You buy low, you sell high. That's what trading is. You take the profit. As easy as that. So that's what cryptocurrency trading simply looks like. Okay. You buy an asset at a cheaper price, a cryptocurrency asset this time. You buy a crypto asset at a cheaper price and you sell it at a higher price. That's what trading is. As simple as that. There are different types of trading, different types of trading. We're not going to get in depth on that. There's day trading, swing trading, there's futures trading, whatever. There are plenty, there's spots. So let's not even get into that. But yeah, that's basically what crypto trading is. And while I was talking about cryptocurrencies, I forgot to mention like there are a handful of blockchains. Okay. There are a handful of blockchains out there. It's not just Bitcoin blockchain that is out there. There are a handful of blockchains. We have things like Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, Cardano. In fact, there are a lot of blockchains out there, and each blockchain has its own native token or cryptocurrency coin. Okay, so every blockchain has its own mother coin. So the coin that runs, there's a difference between coin and token. So okay, someone says this network is bad. Am I audible over there, Princess? Can you hear me?
Yes, loud and clear.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you. Blessing, sorry about your network. Maybe you can try rejoining the class or switching your network provider. So another way you can earn from the crypto space is something called investing or buying and holding. Okay. So just like your trading, this one is quite different, okay? But it's kind of similar to your trading. The major difference is the time duration. So for investing or buying and holding, it normally goes on a longer time frame. So you can buy a crypto asset when the price is cheaper and you can sell it when the price goes higher over time. It's more like, let me use traditional investing, for example, like stocks. You buy stocks of, let's say, a startup company when the price is cheap. When this tech company comes out, the stocks are quite cheap. If you maybe follow things like or people like Warren Buffett or people like Robert Kiyosaki, you would understand how they invest. They look for smaller companies, buy their stocks when the price is low. When those companies go big scale, or over time when they've grown, the value of that stock increases, then they sell and they make profit from it. Also, let me give another example with what business can I use for this? Let me give another example with let's say grains business. There are people who specialize in buying and selling grains. So during the harvest season, the grains are cheaper. When you buy these grains, let's say for instance maize, you buy maize at, let's say, 48,000 during harvest season. There's bountiful of it. Farmers just finish harvesting, they're trying to get rid of it. You buy these grains and you store them for a period of, let's say, 3 to 5 months, and you wait for the right time when, let's say, there's a maybe shortage of it, and there's no longer, the value of these grains go higher, then you sell it. That's basically the same thing you do with your cryptocurrencies when you're investing or buying and holding. That's another way you can earn from the crypto space. And the key things you need in order to get into buying and holding or long-term investing and to be successful in it is key skills like fundamental analysis. Okay, so what fundamental analysis simply means is that you go research, learn about the coin or the cryptocurrency or the project you are trying to invest in. You learn about them, see who the founders are or who the creators, what problems they're solving, why they're there, what they're doing, their initiatives. You go research about them, you learn about them. If you see it's a good project, then you use your money to buy these cryptocurrencies. So two key things: knowledge and finances. You need money to get into it. Just like trading, you also need your trading capital. Okay, I can see a question. What's the difference between a coin and a token? I'll just quickly explain this before I move further. So the key difference between a coin and a token is that for a coin is the mother cryptocurrency on a blockchain. A simple way I can explain this, right, is let's use Bitcoin for example. So for Bitcoin is the blockchain. Okay, Bitcoin is a blockchain on its own, and the cryptocurrency still, the mother cryptocurrency on the Bitcoin blockchain is also Bitcoin. Okay, BTC. That's still the coin. It's the key one. There's still other cryptocurrencies on the Bitcoin blockchain. There's still other cryptocurrencies that are deployed on it. But the mother cryptocurrency on that blockchain is called a coin. Then the other cryptocurrencies that are deployed on that blockchain is called a token. Okay, so let me also give another example like Ethereum. Ethereum is a layer 2 blockchain, which is very popular for having multiple cryptocurrencies deployed on it, multiple tokens deployed on it. We have Ethereum blockchain. The mother coin on Ethereum blockchain is still Ethereum itself. And then there are thousands of other small tokens on the Ethereum blockchain that is powered by the Ethereum technology. The Ethereum blockchain is the one powering everything, and other cryptocurrencies are on it. The other smaller cryptocurrencies that are on it are called tokens. Then the mother, the key one that is there, is called the coin. So one major characteristics of the coin is that it's used for key transactions and activities within that blockchain. For instance, on Ethereum blockchain, I can decide to go on Ethereum blockchain and launch my own cryptocurrency today. I might decide to launch my cryptocurrency, name it Uncle Will's Coin. And after I've launched that cryptocurrency, in order to deploy that cryptocurrency, launch it, I have to pay something called gas fees. And paying that gas fees comes in the mother cryptocurrency. Okay, I have to pay that gas fees in Ethereum. So that's the key difference between a crypto coin and a crypto token. So I've talked about trading, I've talked about investing, long-term holding, and selling. Okay, Princess, just before I proceed, please, how long do I have left? What's the time
We have
duration?
2 hours, so you can do 1 hour 30 minutes, then 30 minutes for question and
Oh, okay.
answer.
Okay, all right then. Thank you very much. I didn't want to spend too much time not knowing how much I have. But while we've gone like midway, I think we've gone quite a distance. Okay. I'll take other questions after the class. How is FX and cryptocurrency related? Please just
Please
drop
put
that question in the
drop
WhatsApp
your
group and I'll
question in the
attend to
WhatsApp
that.
group. Yeah, so that you don't distract him, and then it's easy to pull all the questions, because if you put it here, it might go far. I might not be able to find it.
Yeah.
So try to put it in the WhatsApp group, then we'll get it from there when it's time to answer questions.
All right, thank you very much. So I've mentioned trading and I've mentioned investing, that's buying and holding. So there are risks involved with this, and the risks, the key risks is that cryptocurrencies are highly volatile. Okay, by volatility, it means the price fluctuates. They go up and down anyhow. So you can buy a cryptocurrency today, and in the next, let's say, 2 hours, you might notice the price have already increased by 10%, 15%, or you may buy it and it may it the price have reduced by 10%, 15% within a short time frame. So that volatility is a key risk involved with cryptocurrency investing and trading. And also that volatility, which we see as a risk, is also an opportunity to make money from the space also. So I just want you to take note of the risks while I educate you about the opportunities. You should also know there are risks involved in it. So learn about the risks, go read, do your research. Don't invest in any asset you haven't properly done your research in. Don't invest more than you can afford to lose in cryptocurrencies. One key mistake many of us have made, even myself a couple of times, is putting everything into cryptocurrencies. When I started my first Web3 job I got, in fact, everything, all my entire life. In fact, even if I needed, let's say, 2K to go out or maybe go to the gym or maybe visit someone, I had to sell some crypto asset. So that's a bad way to go about crypto. So you don't put all your assets into the crypto space. You don't invest everything into crypto. You keep some percentage to yourself. Okay, you should also learn about finances, gain financial knowledge, know how to diversify your portfolio, know how to manage your risks, mitigate your risks. Don't put all your eggs in one basket, as they'll tell you. So that's something you should learn about. I wouldn't be talking much about the risks anymore. So let's move further to the next way you can earn within the crypto space. And this one I'll be talking about got very, very, very popular within the last year. And before I explain it, I would ask one question. I like asking questions so that you'd be able to relate with something you know, something you understand, or something you've seen and heard about. So, who have heard about Notcoin? Or what's the name of the other one? Notcoin. We have Hamster Combat. Who heard about Hamster Combat? Who heard about? I'll be checking the comments to see who has about heard about them, so I'll be able to explain better. So, have you heard about them? Or let me see which other one got very popular apart from that. Pause. Who heard about Pause? Who heard about, yeah, I can see Blessed, I've heard about them. I can see Mr. Shea. I can see you, Taiwo. Yeah, Taiwo even did Hamster. Okay, you mind them. Nice, nice, nice. Yeah, Hamster. Exactly. So now I have like, okay, a lot of people, almost like 10, almost like 30, not kind of Hamster CEO. Nice, nice, nice. So a lot of you heard about it. That means it was really viral. So we'll be talking about airdrop and, yeah, airdrops basically. So Hamster, Notcoin, all of those, right? They did something called airdrops. That's why they went very popular. And airdrops, in simple term, is when projects, cryptocurrency projects, give a certain percentage of their tokens to early adopters and people for completing very simple tasks. That's what airdrop is. Cryptocurrency projects and organizations, they give a percentage of that token, they give some fraction of it to people for performing some tasks. Okay, so the main reason why projects do this, I would mention the ones I know. There are still more than that. I'll talk about the two key reasons. First is for marketing, because they're giving away money. People run into that project, they create publicity, they create awareness, they talk about it, they post about it on their status. I mean, doing Hamster, everybody was posting Hamster. What's the name of that stuff? Hamster Daily Key something where they put some keys. Everybody was posting, people were asking about it. That was a marketing stunt. Even people that didn't do it, they were hearing hamster, hamster, hamster every day. People were like, what's this? What's happening? Let me do this too. They join because they know that giving away money. So one key reason why projects do that is for marketing. They give away their tokens, people run into the project, they create that awareness, and it's something that has worked remarkably over the years. It's been low key, but within the last year, airdrops became very, very viral because of Telegram and because of Notcoin. So another key reason why they do that is to grow the power of their network. I wouldn't get in depth on this, but there's a principle about the power of a network, and it's something that simply states that the power of a network depends on the number of people that uses that network. It increases the power of that network. So when a cryptocurrency launches, and let's say they do an airdrop and they gain, let's say, 100,000 users, 100,000 people are holding that coin. It basically increases the power of that network. They get stronger, they get more transactions, they are rated higher, they get more revenue, they get more. So it increases the power of that network. That's what airdrop does. I wouldn't go further than that. There's also something called bounties, which is very related to airdrops, where projects ask you to go do things like look for bugs on the system. If you're familiar with coding and programming, you would know something called bugs. In simple terms, bugs are something like errors you find within applications and websites and platforms. Maybe you enter a website and something isn't working well. You click on a button on a website and that button is not responding, or it's not doing what it's supposed to do. That's what the bug is. So through bounty huntings also, you can be able to earn. Some projects would give you rewards for finding bugs and errors on that system. They allow you test it. Okay, and very closely related with bounty hunting is something called testnets. So airdrops, bounties, testnets, they work hand in hand. And airdrops these days even work hand in hand with things like cloud mining, where you see what Notcoin did, where you had to be tapping your phone repeatedly and the rest. They work hand in hand. So what was the last thing I just mentioned? After bounties, yeah, test nets. So just like bounties, you test a new cryptocurrency platform, you test the application, you test whatever resources they're putting out there for them. Basically, test nets are sometimes free. There are different types of test nets, but we wouldn't get in depth. So test nets are basically free. You test it, you interact with it, and you report your findings. If there's any error, at the end of the day, when they launch and are doing their airdrop, they reward people who interacted with the platform, found bugs, or did the testnet generally. So that's another way. I would also be talking about, okay, this one now, I'll be pivoting a little bit, and this is going to take us into the next phase of the class where I'll be talking about ways you can earn within the Web3 space. That's through jobs, okay? Through jobs. This one directly links to the next part of what I'll be talking about. So there are other things like community building and community moderation. So within the crypto space, community is like, I wouldn't say is the most powerful thing, but it's like one of the most powerful things you can find within the crypto and the blockchain space. And your community can either make you or break you. We've seen communities within the Web2 space. And let me give a very simple example of what community means with something we can all relate with. So let's take, for instance, yeah, we were part of clubs in secondary school. Some of us were part of clubs. And here in Nigeria, I don't know where all the students are from, but here in Nigeria, some of the most popular clubs we had in our secondary schools were things like Jet Club. Jet Club was, um, I think Jet Club were for the science students then, and we had things like Press Club, where they read the news. Then we had things like other social clubs that existed. So those clubs are communities. You had members who were joined together. They come together. Um, Yes, thank you, Jet Club and Press Club. Thank you, Edit. You come together to achieve a single purpose. We had a single mission, a single narrative. We identified ourselves as members of that club. Sometimes we even had shirts for those clubs. We did activities. There were things we participated in. Like it was fun, it was engaging. We like there was this sense of identity around it. I'm this person. I'm a member of Jet Club. I'm a member of Press Club. Or if you are not a member of clubs, you're certainly, maybe you have a religion. You're either a Christian, a Muslim, or I don't know which other religion you belong to, but those are some of the key religions in Nigeria. Traditional religion also, we have those people. You are part of a religion. Your church communities, or your churches, or your religious bodies in general have communities within them. We have the choir, we have things like the ushering units, we have the media. All these are communities within the church system. So I'm just trying to explain to you in terms you can understand what a community looks like. Then I'll be relating it now to the blockchain and the crypto space. So after understanding what these communities look like within the Web2 space, those are Web2 communities. Within the Web3 space, okay, we also have communities. The sense of community also plays largely within the Web3 space. So cryptocurrency projects have their communities, and their communities comprises of members, individuals like you and I that belong to these communities. We're part of it. We interact within the communities. We learn about the project itself. We also gain value from the communities. The community, one key thing is they give back to their community member. It's not always about money, it's also about educational initiative. For example, what Princess is doing here. This is a very, very, very remarkable and amazing initiative that she put together. And all of you are part of a WhatsApp group, and that WhatsApp group is basically serving as your community. So the community gives to you, the community helps you, improves you, and you also give back to the community by being active, by contributing, by adding value, sharing resources. So that's basically what a community looks like within the crypto space, both Web2 and Web3 space. Basically, it's almost the same. So, like I said, your community can either make you or it can break you. Okay, sorry, I just got a notification for something. Your community can either make you or break you. And there are people within the space called community managers. Okay, it's a key role, it's a key job role within the crypto space or within the Web3 space. When I mention crypto space, blockchain space, Web3 space, I'm basically talking about the same thing. So it's a key role. And over the time, I've served as a community manager. And under that also, there's also a role called community moderation. I'll talk more about the roles and responsibilities when we're talking about the Web3 space. And before I talk about them, I'll be sharing a little story on how I got my first Web3 role. So other initiatives and ways you can earn from the crypto space are things like education, where you teach people about Web3 and blockchain, like I'm doing here right now. You can organize initiatives like what Princess is doing and charge a lot of money for it. If you're nice, you can charge small money based on your environment, based on what you want to do. If you want to be selfless, help people, add value to people, you can decide to charge less or do it for free. You can decide to charge, but it pays. Education is one key thing that have been paying within the blockchain and the crypto space, and another is content creation, where you create content, you talk, you either share your knowledge or you create content for companies or projects that reach out to you. They can reach out to you to market, teach, or educate people about the project or the initiatives or whatever it is they're offering. And closely related to content creation is influencer marketing. Okay, influencers, we know of influencers. There are very many within the Web2 space. We have a lot of influencers on places like TikTok. I think TikTok is like almost the home of influencers now. And we have influencers on places or platforms like Twitter, YouTube. The influencers there, you know about them, you've seen them, you've seen what they do, you see how they try for attention, and what that attention gets them. There's a lot of money that can be made from influencer marketing and being an influencer. And the money comes from different revenue sources. like the platforms themselves, they pay you. Social media platforms basically, they heavily reward influencers or creators, and they cost people who are consumers. Okay, that's what I would like to let you know. As an influencer or a creator, you make money from these platforms, you make money from brands that would want to work with you to promote them, and you get brand deals, you can promote things, like you can sell for people, there's a lot you can do being an influencer. There's a lot of power and earning and revenue sources that come from it. But if you are just a consumer, you decide to maybe just consume and not create anything or put any value out there. All you do is you consume, and the Web2 space, you're like the resource. They take from you, they take your data, they take your time, they take your energy, they take your there's a lot they take from you. So that's one key thing though. That's by the way. Um, yeah, so I'll be moving on from this. So we'll be talking in depth on community building, moderation, and management as we proceed. So, summary, I talked about mining, I talked about trading, I talked about investing, I talked about airdrop, bounties, testnet, I talked about education, content creation, community management, building, moderation, and the likes of that. So, next, we'll be moving into your current skills, skills within the Web3 space, and how to monetize them. And I believe this should be the last thing I'll be discussing. Okay, we're already 1 hour into the class. So a short story of how I got into the Web3 space. I'll try to make this as brief as possible, but it's a story about me graduating university, not knowing much on what to do with my life at that point. I had just finished school in 2019, and then COVID hit when I was supposed to go to camp. A lot of my mates went to camp in the first stream, and then I was left behind at home for a long span of months. So within that time period, I got to hear about cryptocurrencies for the first time. I had heard about Bitcoin before, but at the time I heard about Bitcoin, to be honest, I just thought Bitcoin was a physical golden coin that was for rich people and government bodies and agencies. To be honest, that's what I thought Bitcoin was, because the few images I had seen prior to that time, the only time I heard of Bitcoin was in the news, and this logo of Bitcoin, a golden coin. So to be honest, that's what I thought Bitcoin was at that point. So I didn't know much, but curiosity drove me. I heard about cryptocurrencies. I decided to look into it. I decided to try it. I didn't really know how to buy, what to do, and there wasn't much resources that was available at that time, or there weren't much people that were willing to teach you. And I also didn't like asking people for help or reaching out to people. So I had to learn by myself. What's this thing? What? In fact, I wasn't even there for the money. For a large part of it, I honestly wasn't there for the money. I was just interested. I was curious. I wanted learning. Okay, what's Binance? What's Luno? How can I buy this? What can I do with this? Okay, this now, how do I sell this? I made a lot of costly mistakes in the process. I made mistakes that cost me a lot of money because I didn't ask questions. I didn't have a community around me. I didn't have people to teach me, guide me, show me what to do, what not to do, and how to do what I'm doing. In fact, let's not even talk too much on that. But yeah, after that period, I got to meet somebody within that time. When I finally went to camp, I had dabbled with cryptocurrency, made some money that I didn't even think I was going to make, and I managed to lose everything. In fact, plus extra. I managed to lose the ones I made plus the ones I didn't make. Everything vanished. It's a possibility in the crypto space. And to be honest, I have to tell you this, as long as there's possibilities you make money from the crypto space, there are also possibilities you lose a lot of money. That's where risk management comes in. That's where learning comes in. And as I mentioned, do not invest more than you are willing to lose in the crypto space. And also do not put all your money into the crypto space. and always learn to do your own research. There's one popular term called DYOR, meaning do your own research within the crypto space. And almost every influencer or anybody making a recommendation to you, or a guide or a mentor, they would always tell you one key thing about cryptocurrency: do your own research. Even though I do my research, I find this is interesting, it looks like an opportunity or a great way to earn from it, I would still tell you to go do your own research. And that's when knowledge of fundamental analysis comes in. There are different types of analysis within the crypto space, and we have fundamental analysis, we have technical analysis, and we have sentimental analysis. So fundamental analysis is the one you can start with if you are just looking at um, how to research cryptocurrency projects and how you can make money from them and not lose your money. You go into fundamental analysis. Okay, someone said he wants to learn technical analysis. Nice. So for technical analysis, where technical analysis comes in is mostly when it comes to trading. You need to learn technical analysis to know how to understand the charts. If you've seen most of the posts of crypto traders, or even not traders, maybe online, you've seen a couple of green and red lines that are always posting. You see a green line, a red line, green line, red line, then some lines and a lot of purple, blue, green. Very confusing charts if you don't understand it. So technical analysis would help you understand those charts. And those lines, every single one of them carries information. They carry key details on what is happening in the crypto market at that time. It's so detailed that it can give you information on what is happening every second. So that's where technical analysis comes in. You know when to buy, when to sell, when to enter and close the trade. Then for sentimental analysis, sentimental analysis basically deals with the market sentiment at the point in time. So a lot of different things can affect the market sentiment, such as things like let's say regulations, things like maybe Donald Trump makes one reckless news. Pardon me for using the word reckless, though. He makes a reckless announcement. He just blots out something on social media or in a conference. For instance, I'll be taxing China 130% for every cross trade and the rest. It affects the crypto market. So that's where sentimental analysis comes in. So forgive me for deviating from my story. I don't know how I got here, but that happened because I answered the question already. Question. So I'll try to stay focused and stay away from the chat too. Yeah. So from my story, I met somebody. I finally went to camp and I met somebody there. And then he asked me a simple question. He was like, are you into crypto? Because at some point he asked me, he had me talking about crypto at some point. Then he asked me. Then we started talking, and that talk sparked something greater. From that talk, I was able to get my first job within the blockchain space as a community moderator. This takes us to something. Why I shared this is something I'll be talking about a little bit ahead, not so far, and it's called networking. Networking is one very key and underestimated way you can make money. Sorry, I mentioned money. You can get Web3 jobs. Don't mind me, I like money. Networking is one very key way you can get Web3 jobs. So that networking got me to get my first Web3 job, and I started as a community moderator with no experience. I didn't know anything about community moderation. All that was asked was, do you know how to moderate Web3 communities? I was like, what's moderation? I didn't ask the person, but in my head, I was like, what's moderation? I quickly went on Google. There was no chat GPT at the time. Then I just searched what is community moderation and what's the role of a community moderator. And I got the answer from Google. And I immediately told the person, yes, I can do it. I can moderate that community. The person was like, it's a new project. We don't have a community yet. No community. I said I can do it. I was at home. I was at home within that time period, and all I was doing was just CDS, go to CDS, come back, and PPA once in a while as a youth corper. Sorry if you're not a Nigerian, but yeah, sorry if you're not a Nigerian. It's basically a scheme you run after you graduate university. So from that, I got my first role. The person was like, okay, let's give it a shot. Go ahead and do it. And they handed the community to me. I was learning on the job. I made mistakes. I wasn't afraid to make mistakes. I knew I didn't know what I was doing, but I wasn't afraid to try. I stepped out there. I was like, okay, let's give this thing a shot. Let's give this technology a shot. I was basically always reading. I was learning. I was making mistakes, and I was learning from the mistakes. So that led me to my first job. And after getting my first job, still with that same person, we co-founded the current company which we are running and building at the time. That's Candleweb AI. So you can see the power of networking from just a single conversation with somebody I met at NYC. In fact, I saw him in camp and we didn't even talk. I just observed him. I was like, yeah, this person seems cool. He's quiet and he seems smart. And we were fortunate to meet in CDS, and from CDS, it led to where I am right now. So networking, very key. So how to build and monetize your skills within the Web3 space. I believe all of you here have something you are doing. Even if you're a student, there's something, at least there's a skill you have. Just before I proceed, right, in order to be able to tailor this to fit you properly, can you just quickly in the comment section share? Thank you, Idris. Can you just quickly share some things you do? What's your career path, or what do you do? What's your skill? What's your expertise? Can you just share it in the comment section while I prepare to proceed with the rest of the class? So I'll give it like 10 to 20 seconds so I can read and then I share with you. Electrical and solar engineering, nice. Nursing, okay. We have more coming in. I teach, nice one, teacher. Okay, teaching graphics design. Thank you, Suleiman. Okay, so let me start with teaching and graphics design. For teaching, for instance, I mentioned earlier on the way you can teach to make money from the crypto space. And teaching basically requires you to build a strong personal brand, which is the first thing I have up here, building a personal brand. So I see graphics design also. Graphics design, there's something called NFTs, non-fungible tokens. It's a type of cryptocurrency, right? That basically, the simplest way I can put it is more it's leaning more towards the art audience. Okay, for NFTs, the basic type of NFTs you see are pictures. You see images that they tell you is a cryptocurrency, is an NFT. We have a handful of that were worth a lot. I think we had things like Bored Ape, where a single image was worth like over $50 million. That's NFTs. It's people who designed it at that time. In fact, there was no AI to design these images, but you see an image being sold for $50 million. Ridiculous. $30 million. That's what NFTs are at on the blockchain. And the non-fungible token parts, meaning it's a token that cannot be splitted into parts. It's unbreakable. Each unit of it is its own unique, or it has its own unique identity. Non-fungible token. For cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, it's possible for me to send let's say 0.000001 Bitcoin to Princess's wallet. Should receive it, should see it. That's a fungible token. It can be splitted into multiple parts. But for non-fungible tokens, they cannot be broken into parts, and a large fraction of it comes in form of artworks, which are basically images as we can see them. There are other forms of NFTs, which I think even music can be tokenized. It's going to take us into another aspect called reward assets and tokenization. I don't want to talk much on that, but if you're interested in learning about reward assets and tokenization, you can research more on that after the class. And basically, what reward asset and tokenization means or does is that you would be able to tokenize physical assets and put them on the blockchain. For example, this water bottle I'm holding, I can be able to tokenize it. On my house, I can be able to tokenize my house, put it on the blockchain. For instance, let's say I have uh, uh, a skyscraper. Yeah, let's say for instance, I have a skyscraper that it's basically just office floors. Okay, I can be able to tokenize that skyscraper and people buy fractions of it on the blockchain. It's more like the way you buy shares. When I tokenize it, people invest in that asset. They buy fractions of it on the blockchain. That's from the um the the office complex I have. And from those fractions, when I make profits, they earn dividends. I wouldn't be talking much on reward assets and tokenization, but that's simply what it is. Then we have web developer. I've already started the next phase self. So we have web developer, we have product design. All of these are careers within the blockchain space. Then the person who mentioned electrical and solar engineering or something, I don't really have a way we can transform that into a blockchain skill, but there would still be opportunities you can learn from, basically from your engineering knowledge. From your web development, you can build websites for blockchain projects. Every blockchain project, every serious one has a website. That's an amazing opportunity for you to monetize. Product design, you work hand in hand with marketing. Blockchain marketing, you're directly under blockchain marketing. You design, you work directly with them. I can see someone talking about article writing. There's something called copywriting, and also social media management. If you're a writer, that's a field for you. Social media, you write social media copies and contents, you post it, draw engagement, and also you write blog posts, you write press releases. um I would want to point this out. We have ChatGPT. It was a very hot field some years back, but ChatGPT came out. There's been a decline in the need for copywriters and writers generally because AI can basically handle that. But I would advise that you look for how you can leverage AI to improve your output. Okay. AI is here. AI have come to stay with us, but you have to look for how you can leverage it to make the best out of it. So, without much delay anymore, um, how to monetize your skills. One key thing I'll talk about is personal branding on social media platforms. And what social media do you build your personal brand on? For the crypto space, the key platforms cryptocurrency thrives on. Number one, that daddy, the oga pata of all, is Twitter. So Twitter is the home of cryptocurrencies. In fact, even the current owner of Twitter, Elon Musk, is a very crypto oriented person. Dodge Daddy. Yeah. So Twitter is the key place. Then for networking and for meeting key individuals that play strategic roles within blockchain organizations, you need LinkedIn. So, Twitter, LinkedIn, those are the two major places you should look at building a personal brand. Then you can also look at platforms like TikTok. And yeah, TikTok is the key. You can decide to add YouTube for blockchain and crypto education. That's if you want to put out content or whatever kind of content it is, whether it's educational, whether it's informative, whatever kind of content you want to put out there, you should look at those platforms. So you cannot escape building a personal brand. You can actually if you want to, but that gives you an upper hand, letting people know this is what you do. And because of the fact that many of us within this class are newbies, you are new to the blockchain space, like I asked from the information I got from the beginning of the class, you also need that personal branding to help you stand out and give you an upper hand. And some tips for building your personal brand, right? I'll be using LinkedIn. For example, is profile optimization. There's something called optimizing your LinkedIn profile. Is basically making your profile so good that it's going to be appealing to people who come across it, and it's going to be there when people searching for what you offer or the skills you have are looking for it. You are going to appear within the search results. For instance, I go on, let me not use LinkedIn. I go on, let's say, Google, and I search for um blockchain developers within my area. It's going to, or blockchain developers generally, or where I can find blockchain developers. It's going to link me to resources or places where I can see these people. So I didn't really put myself out there. I didn't go marketing. I didn't go on Google and hold a banner saying I'm a blockchain developer. But because I had put my information out there previously and structured it properly in a way that I can be found easily when someone looking for what I have to offer comes across it, it gives me an upper hand. So profile optimization, I wouldn't talk much on this, but this is what I would be doing. Okay, this is what I'll be doing. After this class, I believe all of us here are conversant with ChatGPT. Yeah, someone asked about Discord. Yes, Discord is a key platform too. Discord and Telegram. Why I haven't mentioned Discord and Telegram yet is because those platforms are where crypto communities thrive. Okay, those are where crypto communities thrive. That's where you have your community station. Most crypto communities prefer either Telegram or Discord. That's where they build their communities. And there are a couple of reasons why they enjoy using those platforms. It holds a handful of people. It has more. There are a lot of features that you get on those platforms that you don't get on basic platforms like WhatsApp. So Discord and Telegram, yes, I can see you, Ismaila. Suleiman, yeah, I can see Telegram too. Thanks. So those are where crypto communities are built. So I was talking about, yeah, I was mentioning ChatGPT. So to optimize your LinkedIn profile, if you are interested in optimizing your LinkedIn profile after the class, I would get a prompt over to Princess. I would share it with Princess either maybe tomorrow before Wednesday. I would have it among the resources I would be sharing with her. You can add it, you can just give it to ChatGPT. And what ChatGPT will do is it's going to help you optimize your LinkedIn profile so you can easily be found. Also putting things like a very good and professional profile picture on your LinkedIn would also help. It builds that trust when people see you looking professional and outstanding. And one thing I want to let you know is that LinkedIn is highly about packaging. There's a lot of packaging going on LinkedIn, and you just have to understand how to use the platform. So that's one tip. I'll be moving on from LinkedIn optimization. Another key thing that would help you stand out is sharing your journey. Okay, one thing I have seen, this is from my personal experience, one thing I've seen that helps a lot of people thrive and get jobs and roles within the Web3 space is sharing that journey. I don't know, there's something about us humans that we like about story. Story is something that connects universally. Everybody likes story. Story connects. When you tell a good story, it's very relatable. There are stories you hear and they stick with you from childhood. When you're a small child, you still have the stories stuck in your head, or when you hear a good story, yeah, it sticks. So there's something about stories. So sharing your journey and your story on these platforms is something that gets a lot of attention, and it's helped people I know personally get job roles. So what kind of stories can you share? You are new to the blockchain space and the crypto space, and you started learning about blockchain and cryptocurrency. Just very simply, you could do something as simple as start a personal challenge. This would even help you grow as an individual, not just to get a job, but to also accomplish other things you have. You publicly share your goal and your journey. Okay, I am starting this journey. I'm learning about cryptocurrency and blockchain, or I am learning about this specific role. I am learning about blockchain development. I am learning about community management. I am learning about social media management, whatever it is you're learning. And I'm doing a 30 days challenge. So every single day you learn, you read, it's going to even help you with consistency and motivation. You just go online, you share something. Gradually, you build that reputation. People get used to seeing you. People will know your face. And by the time opportunities come, that are looking for a social media manager, I would remember, oh, I saw this person. I saw Olamide. Olamide posted on LinkedIn. I can remember that guy is very consistent. Let me contact him. So sharing your journey, it's another important way of getting Web3 roles, and it's still part of building your personal brand and reputation on platforms like LinkedIn. You can decide to do it also on Twitter. Pardon me for using LinkedIn so much. You can decide to do the same thing on Twitter. I've seen people do this too on Twitter, and it works. So for Twitter, you can basically replicate this kind of principles. You can decide to follow the right people, influencers. You can share your learnings, your tips. You can share relevant information on things you've learned, and basically help and guide people through. So I'll be moving to the next part, which I've already talked about lightly, which is networking. And there's a strategic before the networking. Strategic networking. So networking is very key for you to be able to build a career within the Web3 and the blockchain space. Networking is key. It's something you shouldn't overlook. And there are different ways you can network. So we have physical networking events, we have online networking events, and you would actually be surprised at the opportunities and the kind of people you would meet at networking events. You'd actually be very, very surprised. You'd meet a lot of reputable people, you'd meet founders, you'd meet people building outstanding projects within the space, you'd meet people within the same niche you're trying to build in. You meet people within the same niche that have gone further than you, that have more connection, more resources than you. In fact, there's a lot you can achieve with networking. So, strategic networking, attending networking events is something that is very key. If you are in key cities or capital cities like Lagos, Abuja, Asaba, and all of these key places, there are a handful of blockchain networking events within that area. It's just left for you to look for them. And one key place you can look for online networking events are platforms like Luma, lu.ma. You can find a handful of networking events there when they're ongoing within your area. Yeah, I see you at Ibadan. I've seen some events for Ibadan. You can go on Luma, lu.ma. That's the spelling. Just put it in your browser. You'd see some networking events or crypto and blockchain events. Most are physical, many are online. So you can go on there, meet people, connect, talk to people. Um, it's not just for the crypto and blockchain space. Even if you are basically just a business person or you are generally into the tech space, you're a developer. Sorry, I like using developers a lot. You're a developer, you get to meet people within networking events, and it's something you shouldn't look down on. So online networking as key, and physical networking events. So for online networking, right, let me give you a critical example. There's this platform I wanted sharing. Okay, my phone is what I'm using. I would get the link and I would also share it with you. So for strategic online networking, this is what you can do. You've started learning a specific course, or you're building in a specific niche, you've learned a handful of things, and you're ready to put yourself out there to start looking for a job. What do you do next? You network. You network. So if I'm the one that's trying to do that, this is how I'll go about it. I started learning community management and I want to start networking. I go on platforms like LinkedIn and I look for companies I'm interested in working with. Then LinkedIn Premium allows you to do this. If you don't have LinkedIn Premium, there's a web scraper, a tool I saw 3 days ago. I didn't really catch the name, but I'll share it with you. I'll look for it and share it. You can go on there too. Then you look for the industry and the niche or the career paths you are building in and you're looking for a job in. When you look for it, you see companies that are already doing this or that have open roles, or even if they don't have open roles, that you're interested in working with. Then you go there, you look for the key people within that particular company that you know have the access to be able to employ you or give you that role. This way, you are cutting off all of the noise. There are Web3 job hunting platforms. I'll share them with you. I'll mention them. I'll share resources. In fact, I'll look for where I can get it as either a PDF or a document and share. You can apply for Web3 jobs. There are a handful of them. There are platforms out there you can use to apply for jobs. This is just the strategy I'm sharing. You look for these key people within the organization and you send them well tailored and crafted message. Okay, you network with them, tell them, okay, hi, I'm so 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 and so. Share what you're learning, share your journey, and you can decide to go indirectly and tell them you're trying to connect, or you're trying to learn, or you're trying to get resources. One thing I noticed with people on LinkedIn is that very, 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 very helpful. People like helping on LinkedIn. I don't know why, if it's just LinkedIn or it's entirely with building your career, but people like helping. They like sharing resources. They like guiding you, especially if they see you're enthusiastic, you're serious. You ask for resources. I've stormed into people's DMs I don't even know before on LinkedIn and asked for resources, guidance, recommendations, and they're happy to help. So you find these key people, you tell them you want to network, or you want to connect with them, or you want to learn something from them, whatever strategy it is you're taking. You get to meet these people, then you get to pitch yourself, let them know, okay, you're interested in working with them, or you can decide to add value to them. Look into their platform. Okay, for instance, one way I and my friend did it before to get some jobs, where we look at your platform. If you are new, we focused more on startups. If you're a new project and you're starting up, we know you are lacking a lot of things as a startup. You are trying to build up at that point, and you need resources and helpful hands within that space. um what we do is we go there, we look at your community. Then I was more focused on community building and community moderation. I look at your community, I analyze it, I see the weaknesses of your community, I see the strengths, I look at initiatives I can use to help you boost your community and your results. And I put together a pitch, a presentation. I just put together a well nicely packaged pitch, put it in form of a document, send you a DM afterwards, after we've linked up and networked. Sometimes it may just be a very cold DM if you decide to send cold DMs. After that, I send you a pitch. This is your community, this is what you are building, these are some issues I found within your project, or these are some shortcomings, or this is how I can help. This is the kind of results I can give you. This is the kind of impact. People love results. By the time you are giving results, you are giving this kind of, like, you are hardworking and you have results to show for it. Even if you don't have results to show for it, you let them know, okay, this is what I can do, this is my initiative, this is what I need to do it and achieve it. You share this thing with the person picks interest if it's nicely put. I've gotten some pitches before that's so nice. I would be like, okay, let's talk about what you have to offer. I've also gotten some pitches before that after I opened it, I got pissed off and I was like, who is this lazy person? So your pitch matters and your seriousness matters. So um yeah, I've been talking about networking. This is basically 1 hour 30 minutes already. Okay, I'll just try to Princess mentioned I have 2 hours, so I'll try to speeding it up from
But you
here.
can actually go on. You can actually
Okay.
go on as long as what you're saying is valuable to everyone here. You can continue.
Okay. I can see someone commenting Niger State. I was in Niger State within last year. Yeah, it was last year. So, Footmina, where we attended the blockchain event. There are events going on there. I don't know what's with HQ, but I see that. So they're basically blockchain events almost everywhere now. It's becoming widespread compared to how it is. So you can search lu.ma. I can see someone posted it. You can also search online self, just put blockchain and crypto events around me, and Google will give you recommendations, and you can also look for platforms that will help you get that. So yeah, I mentioned learning earlier on, and to be honest, learning is something. I think that was even one of the key things I mentioned from the beginning of the class. Okay, so learning is something you can't do without within the blockchain space, especially when you're entering it's newly. You have to learn the fundamentals. This course Princess I provided for you is a solid foundation. It's a good start. All you have to do is build on it. This is just a 2 hours course I'm taking you. Is a 2 hours class. I can't share so much within these 2 hours. I have to compress everything in order to fit into the 2 hour span. Even other courses which I've organized and held and trainings, we have to summarize some stuffs and for short sessions. But for specialized courses that is focused on teaching you a key thing within the space, like let's say you find a course that is teaching you about blockchain, like is specifically teaching about blockchain, you want to go into web development, blockchain development as a smart contract developer, you find a course that teaches you about smart contracts, or you want to get, there are key courses that teach you these things in depth. So you don't stop learning. You learn online, you take courses, you look for resources, you basically keep learning and learning and learning. So you have to do the hard work, honestly. You have to do the hard work. So let me move on from strategic networking. Let me just move on from this. I've talked enough on this. Okay, I've talked about offline networking, the local meetups, events, clubs. If you're a student within your universities, I think there may be some students here within your universities. Look for blockchain and crypto groups or clubs within that university. And if there is no blockchain and crypto group within that university, right, then that is your jackpot. Listen to me, that's an opportunity for you. An opportunity for you to leverage strategically to make you know why I'm going to mention money. That's an opportunity for you to make money. So look for crypto clubs, communities within that your university or your local environment. If there's none, start one. Start one. All it takes to start is for you to focus on learning, learn, and focus on adding value to people. Be selfless. Add value to people. When you add value to people, people come to you. And when they come to you, they bring more people to you. That's the way value works. You give value to people, teach people, organize people together, start a small club. It's, in fact, you don't even have to make it fiscal and start big. Start with a small WhatsApp group. Add a few people. It may even be like maybe your two closest friends. If your closest friends are not serious, look for people that are not even your close friends. Share idea. Let's start this together. Let's work on this together. Build a community from scratch. Small community, teach people about cryptocurrency. Get teachers to come teach you. If you are interested in that self, you can hit me up if you want to start a community. I'll come lecture in your community. I'll teach your community about cryptocurrency and blockchain, the basics, start you up. You can use that. So that's an opportunity to make money. You don't even, if you have a lot of initiatives, you may not even want to go and start looking for jobs. And trust me, there are a lot of opportunities that comes with having your own cryptocurrency community. Brands would want to partner with you. There's something called AMA sessions and Twitter spaces, just the way Princess have organized this class now for you guys. And she invited me to come speak and teach you about cryptocurrency and blockchain. Brands would want to partner with you and work with you when you build your community to a specific level and degree. And why they do that is in order to be able to either sell that product, in order to improve that community, build brand recognition for whatever reason it is. Brands will partner with you, and with that partnerships comes money. Even if brands are not partnering with you and paying you, it opens doors to other opportunities and network and massive networking opportunities. Imagine yourself introducing yourself as the founder of a blockchain community that have built to maybe 500 members, 1,000 members that are active. You don't know the value of that. People will pay you to work with you. So I'll just run past this. I'll run past this. So I've mentioned education and continuous learning. That's the next thing on my list. I don't think there's more I can say to this than just learn, learn, learn. There are a lot of free resources online. I'll be starting with the easiest and where all of us are right now, YouTube. Yeah, you're here, you're on YouTube, you're learning. This is a YouTube live stream. If you go on your search bar, you search for what is Bitcoin, what is cryptocurrency, what is this, you have a lot of resources there to teach you. There are also online learning platforms and academies that are there to teach you. There are community initiatives that are there to teach you. To communities organize classes, they organize trainings that will teach you and equip you with skills. Like our company, Candleweb AI, we recently completed our AI course, which we trained people, and we also had a blockchain fundamentals course, which we just rounded up. And yeah, communities. So, Princess, I wanted mentioning this to you earlier, but if your students are interested, I would be maybe giving out some scholarship spots for some of your students, maybe 10 people only, to join our next blockchain course. Only 10 people who would be interested. You can handpick them, maybe give them an assignment or a task or something. Then the people who do it properly, or however, I'll let you decide. It's your community. So you can add them to come take our course. And the last time we admitted only 100 students out of almost 400 people that applied. So we'll be giving out 10 spots for people who are interested in learning. So Princess, that's up to you, however you want to do it. So education, continuous learning. Yeah, thank you very much. So there are other online platforms that teaches you. I'll be sharing some of them with you later on. I'll be mentioning them, and I would also join it in the resources I'll be sharing to Princess. So just give me a second to check something. So yeah, okay, let's talk about roles now within the blockchain space, career paths, which I've already started and which we've already talked about. We already gave like a brief intro where I was talking about community moderation, things like writing, and the rest, the skills you could put into use or how to harness your current skills to be able to pivot into the Web3 space and start earning from the Web3 space. And the truth is, your skills currently, you don't have to go through some kind of intensive specialized learning if you already have current skills like marketing. I believe this academy also offers marketing, if I'm right. I watched your introduction video to marketing, which was really outstanding and amazing. I enjoyed it. And I also enrolled for the course. So hi, I'm going to be part of you guys as one of your students because I
A
enjoyed
teacher,
that
just imagine a teacher becoming a student. This is not awesome.
Oh yeah, we're always learning. We're learning in life, and
Yeah.
I liked, even though it was 15 minutes, I got a lot of value from it, and I want to follow so I can also improve myself. So lifelong learning. You don't
Okay.
stop learning. You learn more,
Yeah.
and more, and more.
Because sorry
Yeah.
to chip in, the world of technology
Okay.
is evolving very rapidly. So the people who would succeed are the people who can learn at that pace, who can stay updated, who are always refreshing and improving. So learning has to become a way of life if we are going to do well in this tech revolutionized world. If not, you get left behind. There's a time where then once you go to the university, you study engineering, you are made for life. But we are not in that time anymore. And that's why learning is so important. Staying up to date is so important. And we should not even be cajoled. We should be the ones looking out to learn because literally that's our passport to the future. So yeah, let
Yeah,
me allow
thank
you
you very
continue.
much, Princess. Thank you for that. And just a final mini chipping I'll be adding on that. Even if you're an expert in your field, whatever field it is you're in right now, not just because you are pivoting to the Web3 space to get a Web3 job, but whatever field it is you built your expertise in. AI is, forget the fact that many of us we like to say AI is not here to take your job. Even me, I've posted on LinkedIn. AI is not here to take your job, this and that. AI is here to help you. My dear, my brother, my sister, forget. AI is coming for your job. It's not a threat. It's not a threat. I'm just telling you the fact. We've worked with AI agents. I have seen at Candleweb, I've seen how AI agents are operating and how much they can do within a short amount of time. And trust me, if as an employer I have the opportunity to get AI agents to do the work of 50 people within a shorter time and for lesser pay, I can basically build an AI agent for lesser for within minutes. There's no need for me. I'm just being very honest and direct with you. There's no need for me to put 50 people on monthly salary that will be paying them when that income could be going somewhere else, either to building the business or something. And this is where the opportunity comes in. Okay. Even though AI is taking the jobs of those people and those roles, pardon me for from shifting for pardon me for shifting from blockchain to AI, but there's something you need to know since we're learning, and this is a new field you're entering. Even though AI would be replacing some job roles, new job roles are opening up. New job roles are opening up. Like I stated to the person who mentioned he's a writer. Learn how to use AI to improve your skills. See other opportunities that opens up with AI. You are a writer, okay? There are social media platforms out there. Yes. What do you do on social media? You create content, you share your written content. You can even decide to go as far as creating video content if you want to. If you don't want to put your face out there, there are AI tools that can help you do that. You're a writer, you have the skills of writing, you know what people like to read, and people love consuming content. There are people who would wake up and the first thing they do is they grab their phone and look for the first social media they can get onto. And what are they looking for on social media? Content. You're a writer. You create this content, video, written, educational, entertainment. People consume different type of contents. Look for how you can use AI to put this value out there and to do better. If before you could write one article in, let's say, 4 hours, 5 hours, a good article, you could write 1 hour, one article, and at most 2 to 3 articles a day. You have AI that can help you write 10 to 20 articles a day. Okay, what do you think the impact would be when you're putting out 20 contents a day? You could record maybe 2 to 3 videos a day as a content creator, or 5 videos. You have AI tools now, even ChatGPT can help you write scripts of 100 videos within minutes. And you can proceed to create those videos, put out those contents. So learn, don't stop at your current skill. Learn how you can use AI to improve whatever it is you are doing, whatever, no exception. Learn how to do it. And as AI is replacing job roles, you'll be stepping into the future because you have prepared yourself. Look into the future, the next 5 to 10 years. This whole AI thing we're seeing just getting started. We're just getting started. This is just like the tip of the iceberg. It's going to get worse. A lot of job roles are going to be displaced. So learn how to use AI even right now for whatever it is you're doing. And the future will be bright for you. So you wouldn't panic. So yeah, so I'll be talking about some key skills within the blockchain space which you can directly pivot from. And we're already talking about already self, so it's just for me to proceed. So let's take, I've talked about writers. This is even like, yeah, this is on my list. I've talked about writers, I've talked about community management and moderation. I didn't really break that down. I didn't really break that down into details. But basically, what a community manager does is they help build crypto communities, online communities. Sometimes they might even be physical events. They build, they manage these communities. They come up with initiatives, which are either for marketing, for community growth, for onboarding users, for engagement. They come up with these initiatives. They put the initiatives to play. Okay, they bring them to life, they manage it, and community management works hand in hand with the marketing department of crypto projects. We also have community moderation, which I mentioned was the role I started in the blockchain space with. So with community moderation, you work under the community manager, and your job as a community moderator is to moderate these communities. You are like the policeman there, okay? But I like to use the term fun policeman. You're not there to, they say police is your friend though, so just in case there's a police person here. Hi friend. So yeah, you're like the police of the community. You are there to keep the community safe, and there are a handful of things you need to keep the community safe from. Scammers, we have scammers, we have spammers. Spammers are people who post random links, or they post repeated unwanted messages, or whatever it is that is done repeatedly. Even if it's a good thing you're sharing, it becomes spam. For instance, if I'm maybe teaching this class and I'm adding value to you now, I know I'm coming here to teach, give you value, but I go to a specific Telegram group and I'm posting join this class with a link like 50 times in a row. It becomes spam, it's noise. So that's the role of a moderator. They keep the group safe, they clear all of these messages, they answer questions and help with technical difficulties within the community. They also assist the community manager in organizing events, and there are still other minor tasks that fall under the role of a community manager, of a community moderator. So that's another role. um we have designs, graphic design. um Under graphics design, I've mentioned NFTs. Basically, I've already talked about graphics design. We have things like NFTs where you could design NFTs for NFT projects. There are other designs you could do. Like I believe graphics designer works hand in hand with the UI UX designer. For those who knows UI UX, user experience and user, I think is user interface and user experience or something. I don't really know the full term, but man, I've worked with some UI UX people, but I know what they do, but I don't know what the I stands for. But yeah, UI UX, you work hand in hand with them. And we also have things like graphics designs for banners, marketing campaigns, like the flyer I had for this class. There was a nice flyer Princess shared with me, which I basically put on my social media platforms, LinkedIn and WhatsApp. It was a graphics designer that did that. And you can work with crypto and blockchain projects because that service is needed. Even though AI now is creating AI generated images and graphics, trust me, the graphics AI gives me for banners and the rest is terrible. And I'm always in the DM of my graphics designer. So graphics design, your applications, like the handful of things you can do within the space. So don't stop at that. We have UI UX designer, we have web designer. You work together, you design websites for crypto platforms and blockchain platforms. It may need you to just then maybe one or two minor things, make minor alterations to what you already do as a developer, as a web designer. But basically, your skills can carry you enough and you can easily learn other things you need to add. If you're a programmer, a developer, do we have any developer here? Okay, user interface. Thank you. Yeah, user interface. Um, yeah, if you're a developer, you can easily pivot into building blockchain projects, writing what we call smart contracts. Yes, I can see you, web designer. Um, yeah, so as a developer, you could do that. The cryptocurrencies you see, all the cryptos you see out there is basically code. It's basically code. There's something called smart contracts. You can code a smart contract, you can write the code and you deploy it on the blockchain and it's going to work. And I've deployed some cryptocurrencies. I also learned coding within some time, like I focused on blockchain development for some time period. So you can basically learn that you can write, you can build projects, not just that tokens, not just the smart contracts. You can build create, like your creativity is needed. You can easily pivot and you learn languages like Solidity. So Solidity is the programming language. Sorry, I'm getting a bit technical here. Software programming, yeah. So Solidity is the key language Ethereum blockchain is built on. And because of the fact that Ethereum is the first smart contract blockchain that existed. Uh-oh. Sorry, just give me a minute. I am supposed to be in a meeting right now. It's already 6 p.m. Just give me a minute to type a message. Pardon me.
All right, no problem. Just take your time. So yeah, I don't know if you can all hear me, but while wait for him to get back, I'll just mention a few points that I took down. I don't know, can you all hear me? Awesome. So, when he was talking about, when we were both talking about how the internet is, and of course, how we have to position ourselves, it's important because the internet is designed to be addictive. It's designed to have people spend more than half of their entire days, their entire life, because how you spend your days, how you spend your life. So, it's designed for people to spend more than half, more than 50% of their entire lives. We see this is not reducing anytime soon because more applications are coming up. We have social media apps, we have apps for learning, apps for about anything, right? So you discover that people spend 10 to 12 hours online every day, and you can either decide to be a consumer, that you just go and consume what other people have created, because Facebook that you are on, somebody created it. Everything you see literally on the internet was created by someone, or you choose to be a creator yourself. So if you are just a consumer, you're going to be wasting your data, literally if you decide to be a creator, that's when you literally have to take things like what we are learning today very seriously. So how can you be a creator, and how can you find that nexus between the tech skill you are learning and how you can actually apply it or exchange it for a fee or for money? So there are marketers who don't even know that, oh, in the Web3 space, they can get marketing gigs, or there's relevance, or where exactly in the Web3 space can they deploy their skills. So that's why we are having this session today, so that as you're learning, you know that, okay, beyond just learning to say, I'm just going to put it in my portfolio that I have learned a skill. Where can I actively deploy these skills? Where are those spaces that not too many people, where the competition is even fewer, right? Where it's less crowded, where not too many people are aware of, or people are still doubting, oh, maybe crypto is a scam, or Web3 is this, is that. But you can actually package your skills, like he said, like everything that Mr. Isaac has said today, so spot on, right? So I think he's back.
All right, thank you very much, Princess. That a creator or a consumer, and that's the truth. So whichever decision you make, it's actually a decision that's left to you. Yeah. So I was talking about blockchain developments, if I'm correct. And the last thing I mentioned was solidity, and it's been the first the language most smart contracts are built on, and that's because Ethereum is the first blockchain that existed, the first smart contract powered blockchain. So forgive me for being so technical, but yes, if you are looking into getting a job as a blockchain developer, or not even getting a job, you're a developer, you're a creator. Being a blockchain developer basically gives you the power of being a god, using small g here, God, being a god of your own, because you can bring your ideas to life. There's absolutely nothing, right? I'm going to stress this and emphasize this. You're a developer, you decide to get into blockchain development. There is absolutely nothing stopping you from deciding to start your own blockchain project today. It's just about having a good idea, validating the idea, not just having a good idea and running to build it immediately. Validating the idea to see if people want it, if it solves a problem and people want that idea, then building it by yourself. You can write the codes, you can build it, put your team together. I wouldn't really tell you to run into building a startup though, as it takes it takes a lot. But yeah, it's something, it gives you that power, and the princess is laughing. She knows what I'm talking about. But yeah, um being a developer gives you that ability, so you should be able to learn that. And I'll be moving on to other key roles. So okay, someone mentioned product designer. Yeah, you could work hand in hand with the marketing department for blockchain projects to help them build their products, help them serve their customers better. Product design is very, 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 very needed within the space. We have other roles like sorry, can you guys keep sharing your roles so I wouldn't scroll too much? We have content creators, which basically you can start that by yourself. It just takes, you have everything you need to be able to start your content creation. You have a phone, and your camera is probably even better than mine. All you need is just a good idea. You can decide to create content, teach people, learn, share in the process. We also have career paths like okay, what of data analyst? Currently within our company, I'll be using our company as an example. We have a data analyst working with us, and we also recently hired another person self as a data analyst working with us. So I think that already validates the idea that within the blockchain space, there's role for you as a data analyst. And well, being a data analyst, you work with the marketing department also very closely. There are other things you also look into, but for me, I handle marketing, so that's why I know very much that the data analysts work with me closely, monitoring our website traffic, looking at KPIs, getting reports from marketing initiatives we've conducted, analyzing trends and reports and whatever. Data analyst has a lot of roles and jobs they play within the blockchain space. Project management, okay, I see you. Khalifa, project management, yes, you also have roles within the blockchain space for you. You can work closely. In fact, you're already here. I call cryptocurrency organization projects. Many of them are projects that are companies that are full blown companies that are registered, organized, and the rest of that. Then we have projects. This is not an official definition, but based on how I like to differentiate between blockchain organizations and projects, is that organizations mostly are registered, that are operating within a territory, they are licensed, they have this framework like that built well and structured like a company operates. Then for projects, many of them are fully remote. Most, in fact, some of them are 100% remote. The entire team works online, both from the founder or the CEO to the least person in the company. Everybody works online. All you need is your phone and your laptop. So I call them projects already. And if there's a project, there's a role for a project manager. So you can look into exploring that role as a project manager. I can also see digital marketing. Awesome, you've had me talked about marketing a handful of times. And here at DEA, I saw some of the courses you offer. Digital marketing is like, I think it was even at the top and it caught my attention. So, yes, as a digital marketer for cryptocurrency, one platform or one major place we target our audience on is social media. And as long as you're targeting people on social media or online, there's a very, very, very high and rewarding role for you as a digital marketer within the blockchain space. So yes, I can see digital marketing. Two people have mentioned it. So yeah, digital marketing is there for you. So this is already over 2 hours. I'll just be quickly scrolling to the end of the document I have here. So I would be leaving with a very simple assignment. Yeah, evidence I live in Nigeria, up Nepal. I'll be leaving with a very simple assignment, right? And the assignment is this: it's designed to help you grow. The assignment is solely designed for you, for your own purpose. So I'll be sharing a prompt with Princess that for ChatGPT that will help you optimize your profile. So the assignment I want you to do, right, is for you to fully go and optimize your LinkedIn profile. Do it for LinkedIn. And if you choose Twitter, I don't know if you're not conversant with LinkedIn, but you're more present on Twitter. Do it for Twitter. Go and optimize your profile, make it well structured, and then next, focus on a niche. I've mentioned a handful of things here, a lot of opportunities. In fact, I've been talking for 2 hours now. And if you leave me, to be honest, I'll keep talking till midnight. I wouldn't stop. That's what happens when you're talking about something you're passionate about. Before this class, I was kind of, I don't have enough talking points. But look at it. I can keep going on and on and on. So, your assignments I'll be giving you: optimize your profile. And after optimizing your profile, go ahead to pick a skill you'd be focusing on. And I would be telling you why I'm asking you to pick a skill and a niche. Okay. Like I mentioned, I jumped into blockchain and cryptocurrencies without guidance. There was nobody there to guide me and direct me and point me. Okay, you, this is what you're interested in. What can you offer, or what do you like to do? Then go this way. So I was all over the place. I mentioned I started from community moderation. I did community management. I also learned blockchain development. If you know about coding, you know how difficult coding is to some people though. I took months, learned how to code. I did on-chain analysis. There's something called forensics, blockchain forensics, the way you have your police in real life and you have your forensics departments where they go, they research and they investigate crimes within the real world. There are also crimes within the blockchain space like hacks, the hacks that are going on, there are different ways your assets can be stolen in the blockchain space. And I don't even want to start talking about the threats and the hacks within the space and talking about wallet security because that's a whole course on its own. That's a whole lecture on its own we need to take. So within the space, as long as there are humans, there's going to be crimes. And I did mention things about hackers evolving and the rest of that. So there are people who also learn how to track and combat these crimes within the blockchain space. And there's room for blockchain forensics. And there are courses you can take. I have a handful of friends at one of Nigeria's leading blockchain institutes where they teach about blockchain forensics. In fact, I can't cover all the career paths in the blockchain space. And one thing I'm just going to tell you is this: the way the internet came into play and many of these roles and jobs that didn't exist online that you couldn't do, like let's say 40 years ago when there was no internet, these roles are available on the internet and in the web 2 space, whether you are uh okay, I think my screen is back. Okay, can you see me? Can you see and hear me?
Yes, I can
Hi,
see
am I
you. I can
audible?
hear you, but you're not as audible as you were before. Like voice has reduced.
Am I audible? Can you hear me?
Yeah, yeah, I think it's good now.
Okay, yes. All right, thanks. Princess, I can't really hear you. It seemed like you were trying to talk, but the students said they can hear me.
Okay,
So I'll be
then it's
proceeding.
good. It's all good.
There, if you go back 40 years ago, there are a lot of job roles that weren't available. But because the internet came into play, Web 2, Web 1, then Web 2, because they came into play, some of these jobs came up. The idea excuse me, the idea of remote work came into play, and remote work even became more viral because of COVID. So the idea of remote work came into play. Then now Web3 have come into play, and there's a lot of talks and ideas that Web3. Okay, someone said my voice is low. Okay, am I audible enough? Please let me know.
Yes, I think it's better.
I'll be looking at the comments. Someone just let me know if you can hear me clearly before I proceed. Okay, thank you. No. Okay. Yeah. So as Web3 have come into play, a lot of roles are there. A lot of roles have migrated, or not even fully migrated. A lot of roles have come into the Web 2 space, the Web3 space from Web 2. Some are pivoted. That means it's basically the same thing you do and offer in the Web 2 space that you could offer in the Web 3 space as a service. Some are absolutely new. There are new roles that weren't existing on the Web 2 space, but are now existent on Web 3. So these are opportunities, and a lot more new roles will be coming up. And as long as I'm focusing on blockchain, I don't leave AI out of it. Focus on AI, learn also about blockchain, see how you can merge the two technologies together. We are at one of the most crucial and critical periods in human history. A lot of changes are happening right now. AI and blockchain, the kind of breakthroughs they will bring about. In fact, I would like to add a little extra: quantum computing, even though that's going out of this course. But please and please focus on learning, see how you can improve yourself, and don't stop at where you are. So finally, I'll just mention a few websites you can look into for Web3 jobs and roles. I'll be sharing the list with Princess so she can also share them with you. Let me quickly scroll down to the bottom. Down, 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 down. Okay, we have platforms like cryptojoblists.com, cryptojoblists.com. We have platforms like Upwork, which is very popular, Upwork and Fiverr for general remote work. Sometimes some projects outsource and look for some specific skill sets on Upwork and Fiverr. All it takes is for you to put out good service and put yourself out there. For instance, when we needed someone to make like a product video for us, talking about our product, we had to go to Upwork to hire somebody to do that. Even though they're working for us within the Web3 space, we still had to go there to look for people that could handle that for us. There are a handful of Discord servers. Um, yeah, this full list self. I would share the list with Princess after this class. Let me see. I should have some of them down here. Okay. Okay, these are learning communities. I would share the list of other platforms where you can apply for jobs. So take courses, learn. If possible, if you see courses that would give you certification, you can apply those also. It's going to help you not just in the short run, but in the long run. You're looking long run, you can put your certification out there for people to see it. And I did mention the course we're offering, which would be giving 10 students scholarship from here. We also, for the last blockchain course, we gave a certificate which many people added on their LinkedIn profiles. So look for courses that would be able to show your learning and your track record. So I'll be ending the course here. So look forward to extra tips I'll be sharing and the resources, which would include links, prompts, and other things. So I'll be rounding up the class here so I don't go further. Yeah, I can see some of the other platforms. We have Crypto Job List. We have platforms like Web3 Jobs newsletters. We have things like Discord servers. I'll just share them. So yeah, thanks. We've come to the end of the class. I just have to round it up here because I'm getting a lot of meeting reminders here. But I'll be
Okay.
rounding up here and I'll be here to take your questions. So I'll be handing back the mic to you, Princess. Please take over and I'm here for questions. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so very much, Mr.
You're
Isaac
welcome,
Wilson. Please
John.
let's thank him in the comment section. Let's tell him how grateful we are because this was a very
Thank you,
impactful and
Rosemary.
insightful session. I enjoyed it
Thank you.
personally. Like I enjoyed it. I don't know about you, but I really did enjoy it. So thanks for your time. Thanks for
Suleiman.
all of the knowledge that you've given to us today. We really
Thank
do
you,
not take it for
Hanan.
granted. We know
Princess, I
this
don't know
is
if you're
what.
speaking, but I can't hear you from my end.
Okay, can anybody hear me? Because I'm speaking.
Please, can you let me know if you can hear Princess? I don't know if it's from my end or if it's from your end.
Hello?
Yeah, welcome,
Can
Watong.
you hear me?
Yeah, I think is that a South
Okay.
African name?
No, no, that's Joss.
Okay,
That's a
Princess, I don't
tattoo
know what's
name.
up, right? But I can't hear anything from my end. I think maybe I'll be leaving the session, then I'll join back because there's no sound coming
Join
from your
again,
end.
yeah.
I think the
Yeah,
whole meeting
yeah, that
reminders
works.
and calls I was getting disrupted something. Is that okay?
Okay, no problem. So yeah, if we have questions, this is the time to drop them in the comment section so that he can attend to them and then we call it a day. Right. So those people who were asking questions earlier, I think I saw wow, I saw a few questions, two or three. So this is a good time to drop them in the comment section so he can attend to them before leaving. Okay guys, today has been really great. Yeah, I could hear him, but he wasn't hearing me. But it's probably network. All right, so while we wait for him to join us back and wait for those who have questions, and if there are no questions, we'll probably just wrap up here or just say a few things to wrap up. But if you have questions, this is a good time to put them in the comment section. So, what I want us to take home from today's session is the fact that there are opportunities, right? There are a lot of opportunities, but you just have to position yourself strategically. And positioning yourself starts from you learn. You have to learn a skill. That's where it all starts from, right? So you have to learn a skill. You have to get very good at the skill, and then you also have to learn how to market your skill. So even as the rewards are increasing, so even as rewards are increasing, it means that there's also a lot of work you have to do as an individual. You have to, like I said, you have to learn the skill. You have to get very good at the skill because you don't want to sell yourself and then you are unable to deliver on the skill. So first of all, it all starts from learning, and that's why we are here. That's why we are in the Digital Empowerment Academy. So you learn the skill, you get very good at the skill, you practice, take on projects, you ask a lot of questions, you go the extra mile, and then you now learn how to market the skill. So personally, I believe that marketing is a skill that everybody should have, because you sell your way through life. There are lots of developers, but there are some developers currently who will be earning $10,000 monthly, and some other developers who probably be earning 300K monthly. And the difference is usually in how well you can sell yourself. And selling and marketing yourself often begins with research, getting knowledge, getting aware of opportunities, expanding your mind, exposing your mind to the world literally, and not being boxed up in like a box or where you currently live. So Isaac, can you hear me now?
Oh yes, I can hear you now.
Okay, awesome, awesome. So I was just trying to add a few thoughts to what you said, and we are waiting on questions. I can't see questions yet. It's like the people that ask the questions are no longer on this session, right? Um, okay, somebody's saying, Lisa, how can I start up all over with Web3? I think that's what he has explained. Or Mr. Isaac, do you want to attend to the question?
Okay, all right, let me take it.
Right.
So starting with Web3, I believe like Princess said, we've talked about it in the class. So I'll just give you the brief summary. Starting with Web3, right, is all about learning. You are entering a field which is quite new to you. You need to know the fundamentals. You need to know the fundamentals. And the degree to which you learn depends solely on what you're trying to learn and the path you're going into. So let's take, for instance, I am getting into Web3 as a blockchain developer. As a developer, I'll be taking an absolute different learning path compared to someone who is going in as a community moderator or a manager. So as a developer, I'll be looking at learning the technical side, coding and the rest. If you're interested in learning about how to build a community, manage one and the rest, you also have to learn a different part. But the major thing is having the fundamental knowledge. Okay. The fundamental knowledge is key. And what's the fundamental knowledge I'm talking about? Knowing about what blockchain technology is, understanding how it works, learning about cryptocurrencies, learning about different aspects within the field relevant to you. So basically, learning, and non-stop learning. In fact, for the next 1 year, when you get into the blockchain space, you have to learn. Okay. And if you don't want to learn, opportunities will pass you by. I'm going to give this practical example with a friend. I've known her because she was kind of like a family friend, and she showed interest in getting a Web3 job. And after showing interest, I asked her to come interview, just ran a basic, simple interview. And we were almost even prepared to give her the role. But this is what happened. I did ask her if she know about Bitcoin and a little bit about crypto and Web3. In fact, she's a writer. I didn't even need her to want to even know too much, like too in depth, to know the technical parts. So I gave her a simple task to maybe write out some things within the. I just gave her some tasks to see how well she does. But because of the fact that she doesn't have that foundational knowledge, she doesn't know much about Bitcoin, she don't know much about crypto. She couldn't really give an output. Okay, she couldn't really put that output. Like she doesn't know what she's about to write about. She doesn't even know the key things. I shared resources, go and learn. Okay, read this. Because I was more like trying to even teach the person and put her through, but because of the fact that maybe she wasn't interested in sitting down to learn or focus and learn, that opportunity passed her by. And it's going to be like that for other opportunities within the space. So learn, that's the key thing. You have to learn, you have to learn, you have to sit down and learn. And when I say learn, it's not something you do once in a while and make it like a hobby. If you are really serious about going far with your career or with whatever it is you are doing, you have to be focused, you have to set a goal, know what you want. Okay, this is what I want. I want to get into the web3 space. I'm currently a marketer. I want to pivot into Web3 marketing, focus and specialize on web. There's a specialized niche called Web3 marketing. You can decide to narrow down. Okay, this is what I want. I want to be able to say, okay, by the next 6 months, I can introduce myself confidently as a Web3 marketer. And what do I do within the Web3 space or within the marketing? And this is what I should be able to say I have achieved within this time period. I want to be able to maybe get a job or be working with maybe a project within this time or that time. So set goals for yourself, work towards it, and put your head down and learn. Not the type of learning you attend one class and leave. You learn consistently, you set a learning schedule, you look for courses, resources, follow them back to back, join communities that would improve you and grow you. So I would stop here. Let me not go too much, but yeah, learn. That's the key thing. Learn, keep learning, don't stop learning.
Yeah, so I think that just to thank you so much, Mr. Isaac, for that answer. But just to add to what he has said,
Thanks,
that's
Princess.
I think a problem. That's what is causing. There's going to be a very massive pay disparity in the coming months and years on the internet space. And what's going to happen is some few people are going to be the hot cakes. They are going to be paid extremely high because they've been able to sift out the noise, shut down the distractions, and improve on their skills so well that they become so good, right? The return on investment to be in their team, and then you have people who are looking for opportunities, but because they've not been able to pay the price to learn that skill, it seems like there are no opportunities. There are opportunities. The point is, are you good enough to get into those rooms and actually stay in those rooms? Are you good enough to solve problems in a way that people recommend you, and in fact you begin to turn down offers, right? So for now, I feel like focus on learning. There's no shortcuts. There is no. It's so important to reiterate this. I can say this from now till the end of the next 1 month. There is no shortcuts. You have to learn. You have to be good, and then of course, not just learn. As you learn to also position yourself and market yourself. So because if you can stay here all day and talk about, if you are not good, nobody's going to give you a seat at the table. In fact, you'll be selling yourself negatively. People will be saying, avoid this person, they are not good at what they do. Right. So the first thing is the desire to learn, the commitment to learn. And now, because we have a lot of resources and a lot of entertainment and a lot of distractions. If you're having a very bad day, you can be on your phone from morning till midnight and you get a lot of skits to make you laugh, a lot of things to make you happy. And you forget that, oh, you had a goal to learn something like for that day or for that week. So the commitment to learning is so important. So I think there was a question I saw here, Isaac. I don't know. I feel like there are some
Okay.
questions that when we ask, I just know you've not been here from the beginning. So I will not even want us to answer that question. The person said, can you differentiate between blockchain and Web3? And it feels like he actually started with explaining some of these things. So maybe they will just have to go and watch the video again to get those definitions. I think you mentioned that. So so there's another question here. What are the opportunities one
Okay.
should look out for in Web3 marketing?
Okay. The one on blockchain and Web3, right? Let me just simplify it in like maybe two sentences. Blockchain
All
is
right.
the underlying technology that powers Web3. Okay, so Web3 is built on blockchain technology. Okay, so
Okay.
that's like let's say your television and
Simple answer.
electricity. Exactly. So let's use television and electricity. Um, your television is there, you interact with your TV, but what powers it is the electricity. So electricity can simply be related to the blockchain, then your television is Web3. So that's as simple as I can put it with relatable terms. So what's the next question? Sorry, you read it out.
Okay, somebody said, what are the I think this we should combine these two questions. What are the opportunities one should look out for in Web3 marketing? And somebody said, sir, please can you tell us practical ways of getting Web3 jobs? Because many talk about it, but unfortunately getting jobs even when you have a skill seems impossible. I have paid for many classes but no jobs.
Okay, I'll be starting with the Web3 jobs. The person said he has paid for many classes, but no jobs. I think one of the key things that help you get Web3 jobs is you being persistent and consistent. Paying for classes is not enough. You can pay for the classes, you can learn. You can even apply what you learn, but how well and how frequent and consistent you apply what you learn is what will give you the results. And why I said this is because there's a lot of competition within the Web3 space. That job you are looking for, other people are looking for it too, just like it is in the Web2 space. It was quite easier some years back when not many people knew about the technology or not many people were trying to come on board. But now that it's widespread, many people are also looking for this opportunity with you. So you have to stand out, you have to be persistent. You don't try once or twice and then stop. Okay. It's really helpful if you look for strategies that put you ahead. For instance, the example I gave you or the strategy I gave you on looking for key industry players within the industry you are looking to work in and within the companies and organization, looking for them on LinkedIn, then sending them a DM, reaching out to them directly. Okay. Princess, you're on LinkedIn. I know you have a LinkedIn account. I even followed you, I think today or yesterday. I saw you. I believe you've gotten at least one or two people coming to pitch in your DM, if I'm right. Like maybe asking for a job or a role or something. You get exactly. So you get these people coming in. It becomes quite common. And sometimes, okay, that works. It works when people come directly to your DM. I'll tell you it works because it has worked for me. I can see you have value to offer. By the time you have value, you know what you're saying. I'll give you attention. What do you have to say? What do you have to offer me? I'm also trying to sell my product. I'm also trying to sell. If I see that you have value to offer us, we'll look for how we come to a negotiation and a term of agreement that would work for both of us. So be consistent. Look for these key industry leaders, like I mentioned. Search for them that they're on LinkedIn. I mentioned there's a web scraper tool that can help you do this. I would look for it. I honestly didn't hold the name in my head, but when you go on the tool, you input the industry, the job you're looking for, the role. When you input it, it's going to give you a list of these people. You send them connection request with a message, a well crafted message. When they open these messages, you can introduce yourself, then you can proceed to pitch, tell them you want a job, or in fact you give them value, offer something, let them know this is what you can do for them, and they would pay attention to you. Some of them may be very busy, they may not check that DM. Some people are very bad at social media like me. I'm absolutely terrible at social media. In fact, I believe if not because I have work to do, I wouldn't be on social media absolutely. But yeah, they may not get to it. Some would. Not everybody will reply you. Some people will open and keep quiet. Some people accept your connection request and stop. Some people wouldn't connection request. Some people will reply you. Some won't. It's all about consistency and frequency. If I'm applying for a job, even if it's not a Web3 job, if it's a Web2 job, I'm applying for a job right now, and I make it my mission that every single day I apply for 3 jobs every day, no matter what happens. And then maybe another person, maybe me in another dimension, there's another version of me that is also looking for a job within the same industry, and I apply for a job once in a week. Who do you think has the higher chances of getting that job? So it's all about consistency. Exactly. So you have to be consistent, you have to be persistent. Strategies also help. You can attend these classes, they will teach you what to do, they will tell you what to do. This has worked for them. That's why they're telling you, okay, do this. These job search platforms, just like Web2 jobs, we have Upwork, we have Fiverr, we have the rest of them. We have a lot of Web2 job search agencies. Not everybody that have accounts there have gotten a job. There are some people that have gotten 0 jobs for the past 1 year, and there are some people that have been swamped with jobs. So even though the opportunities and strategies are there, how well you use it and implement it matters too. Thank you.
All right, so just to add, thank you so much for that answer. But just
Thanks,
to add
Princess.
to what Mr. Isaac has said, is the fact that you have to, number one, build in public. So you have to build. The truth, if you look at it from the perspective of a recruiter, if you are a CEO, you own a startup or you own a company, you're always looking for people that can add value to your company. You're not just trying to hire to pay somebody a salary. You're not trying to dash out money. That's the honest truth. You are trying to get someone who can add value to your company. And one way to know that they can add value to your company is to see where they have added value in the past. So that's why I said something earlier. If you're paying attention, I said some people are getting overpaid, overbooked, oversought after, while some others cannot get a job. It's sometimes because you've not demonstrated your ability to add value to a company. No he said, like Mr. Isaac explained earlier, make sure your social media is becoming fast like your portfolio these days, right? So make sure there are things you've worked on that you put on your social media, even while you were learning, lessons you have learned. You demonstrate your skill, your ability, your prowess on your social media, on your LinkedIn. And that's why I sincerely believe that everybody should learn marketing. Marketing, although yes, some people will be expert marketers, but everybody should have a good idea of marketing, because that's how you market yourself in today's saturated and competitive world. Because those jobs you are looking for, there's somebody in the US who is getting them, somebody in India who is, of course, who has put in more effort, put in more work, and is getting them, and then you're complaining that you are not able to get them. Then also find people's problems, rewire your brain to become a problem solver. So I think one of the things that the educational system in Nigeria or in Africa does to us is it makes us feel like once we know it, or once we pass exams, these things should fall on our laps. They should be handed to us on a platter. No, you have to proactively find problems, train your mind to see problems and come up with solutions. And sometimes you would even have to offer some of these solutions for free initially. You would have to, like he said, code DM, code email, research on people, organizations, CEOs, offer your services for a while, even if it's 1 week, 2 weeks, 1 month. Offer to take something off their plate so that it can be, you are building that expertise, you're building that portfolio, you're building that track record. That when somebody else that wants to pay sees, he knows that, oh, this person has worked in this. So if targeting Web3, I advise you start to follow people in that space. You start to attend events in that space. You start to start to think like a Web3 marketer, a Web3 developer. Optimize your LinkedIn. I think he's going to send us a prompt. Optimize your social media handles, your social media platforms, and actively work towards gaining experience in that space. Because nobody wants to start teaching. Nobody wants to hire a staff and then have to start babying them and teaching them. No, they want you to already come in with that value, right? So this is definitely not for tonight. We'll have another session as time goes on, maybe towards the end of the DEA program, where we'll teach you how to actively get a job in tech. But just to add to the answer he has given, and then research, be curious, be an avid learner. How much of yourself you can put out there, how much you can push yourself, how much you can learn, how much you can research, how much you can apply, how much you can code DM, code email, offer your services for free, build your portfolio, be intentional. It's literally all about you and how much effort you can put in the right direction. So I don't know if we have, maybe we'll just final question. I don't think there's any more
All right.
questions though.
One more
If
question.
somebody's saying I applied for data analysis and okay, somebody saying I applied for data analysis and project management. Is there a way to integrate the two, or focusing on one will be better? So what I'll just say is, since you're probably already in both groups, just see, and for me, my advice on tech skills is usually find a skill that closely aligns with your ability, right? So don't go too far. For example, fishes swim, birds fly, right? So you'd struggle more if you're a bird trying to swim, or if you're a fish trying to fly. Skills that are not really related to our own natural abilities and talents, right? So pick something that works with you, or that you will do easily, because you'll be required to give a lot of time to learning this, to perfecting this, to offering your services. To it might, imagine if it takes you 7 years, you want to spend 7 years doing a skill that you don't enjoy, that doesn't, that doesn't make you fulfilled, that you don't like, right? Because I've seen developers who have very good paying jobs and are unhappy and are depressed, or they have the money, so it's not a function of the money at that point anymore. It's a function of, are they getting fulfilled, waking up every day and working as a developer? Because it seems like when there's money, it's perfect. No, it's not always perfect. If you have to work for 12 hours every day as a marketer, would you enjoy that job? Or would you just feel like, I'm doing this just to pay the bills? So my advice to you is explore both of them, be committed, but find out as time goes on which one aligns best with your abilities, your talents, which one comes more easier and more naturally to you. So are you a fish or are you a bird? And then stay there and pitch your tent, right? It's too wide. These fields are too wide for you to do both of them for the long haul. You want to pick one and be the best at that one. So yeah, that would be my.
Yeah, thank you very much, Princess,
Two
for
and
the
Web
amazing
3.
session. Thank you so much. Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. It's kind of cracking, but I can hear you now.
Hello?
I can hear you now. It's kind of
Okay,
cracking.
so I'm saying, what's the difference between Web? Okay, the difference between Web 2 and Web 3. So after that, we just call it a day.
Okay, like I stated at the beginning of the class, I think quite early, the key difference between Web 2 and Web 3 is control and being in full control of your information and your data. Okay. So for Web 2 platforms, the basic example of Web 2 platforms, I like using examples a lot. Examples like our social media platforms, um Twitter, Facebook, Google, any platform that we can currently interact with on the internet right now. You give it an input, you can maybe comment, you see a post, you can comment on it, you can like, it's very interactive. It's like give and take. Okay. That's one key feature of Web 2. And another thing is that it is very, very, very centralized. That means there's a body, a big company, an organization, an individual that is behind that platform that has full control of it and have access to your data, your information, and the likes of that. So those are like the key features of Web 2. And for Web 3, it's more about decentralization. I think this is why I started the talk on decentralization, where it's built on the blockchain and your data, your information are fully yours. You're in full control of it. There's no big company that is out there standing to maybe leverage your information and your data in order to use it for whatever whatever purposes they have for collecting that. So you're in full control. You have full access to your information, full access to your data, and it's built on the blockchain space around the concept of decentralization. And if you didn't catch the definition of decentralization, I was like, decentralization is when there is no central body governing or operating a system, then it is decentralized. Everybody within that system has power and control over that system. But when a system is centralized, there's one central body governing and controlling it. So that's where the key differences between Web 2 and Web 3 come in play. Web 2 and Web 3 are very similar in the fact that they're interactive. Web 1 was just like a static website, just like your newspaper. You can only consume the information on it. You can't read or write or interact. But Web 2 changed it by being interactive. You can go on websites, comment, like, share, do whatever, interact with that website. Like you can engage with it. But for Web 1, that wasn't the case. Then Web 3 went a step further by making it decentralized and give you full control and power of your information and data.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Isaac. My own question now is, should we expect Web 4? Because there was Web 1 and there was Web 2 and now there's Web 3. So should we expect Web 4 and Web 5? And how can we position ourselves
Oh,
ahead for Web 4 when you come? But you don't
funny
have to
enough.
answer. That was
Oh,
okay.
no, no, no.
Okay.
Funny enough, they're already building, I think, Web 4. and I think I've heard of Web
Wow.
5. It's still a concept. The owner of the former or the founder of Twitter, rather, Jack, it was something he was working on after he sold Twitter. I think it was either Web
Wow.
4, yeah, Web 4 or Web 5 he mentioned. So it's something that is going to come into play. And if you look at technological trends over history, technology always keeps advancing. It's always. So
Yeah.
always expect advancements. And also from seeing this trend, it's going to take a fool to bet against technology, because we've seen that it always wins. When Bitcoin and crypto came out, I remember people saying crypto is a scam, trying to educate people about it. And man, I think I got some negative remarks that even made me not to even be talking to people today. There was a point I even got a nickname from my friend back then. He was calling me Isaac Crypto, and I know it was out of mockery though, and it
Yeah.
was quite painful. But that's the reality. When technologies come out, there's a resistance, but people catch up. So yes, there's Web 1, or there was Web 1, there's Web 2, Web 3 is in play. We'll see a Web 4, and if we're lucky enough to
Before
witness
we
it,
come.
there would be a Web 5. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Mr. Isaac. Like I said, it's been a very wonderful session. I really enjoyed it, and thank you for your scholarship offer as well. I'll get across to you on the system or the method that we're going to use to select the 10 people, and then also for the paid trainings too. I'll get more information so that those who probably feel like they want to get and share with us from your wealth of knowledge on the Web3 and crypto space. Thank you so much.
Yeah,
Yes, we did enjoy it. So let's thank Mr. Isaac in the comment section and call it a night. And thank you too for everyone who has stayed up until this point. It's been 2 hours plus. That's a lot of commitments on your part as well. So yeah, you can watch this again in case you missed out on any parts because of network or something, and also share with a friend, right? Sometimes by sharing we are trying to help people as well, so that you don't just get all the knowledge and enjoy everything yourself, right? So yeah, we can also share this. The link will be available by tomorrow on the group, so you can also share this with friends. Yeah, amen,
yeah,
amen.
yeah. Thank you so much, everyone, and thank you, Princess, for the opportunity. It's been an honor, and it's been exciting sharing my knowledge. And I'm also looking forward to joining the course, and I'll be with you guys in the
Okay.
digital marketing. Oh yeah,
All
absolutely. It's
right.
something I want to actually follow up with, like seriously. So thanks so much, everyone. Take care of
All
yourselves and stay
right.
safe. All the best,
Yeah.
and don't forget, keep learning. Keep learning. Very
Yes,
important.
and keep researching.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Thank you so
Yeah.
much. Take care, everyone.
All right, bye bye. Good night.
Thanks, everyone. Thanks, Dorcas.